and to recruit Su Jing, the future Jinshi, as their son-in-law. Big brother, I'll go with you.
Shuwan interrupted immediately.
What are you going to do? It's cold, you can just stay at home. If you want to buy anything, Big brother will bring it back for you. Su Jing thought that Suwon said she wanted to go together because she wanted to buy something. I want to buy some things for my daughter, and I'm afraid it's not convenient for my brother. Anyway, she is going to go. From now on, until Su Jing arrives in Beijing, she will keep a close eye on him and can't make any mistakes. She made up a little lie, and Su Jing didn't doubt it. It was indeed inconvenient for him to carry things from a girl's family. Okay, then you will go with me tomorrow morning. After Aunt Zhao left, the Su family settled Su Yun. Su's mother planned to go to the county tomorrow to exchange the family's silver into silver notes so that it would be convenient for safekeeping. She also had to buy New Year's goods, couplets, firecrackers, etc., which had not been purchased yet. It was a coincidence that Suwon was just worrying about what things from a girl's family to buy tomorrow, and her period came. She didn't feel anything at all, and it didn't hurt. It was mainly due to the fact that the original owner was well raised in the Gu family, so she didn't suffer from dysmenorrhea. I still remember that in modern times, she suffered too much when she was a child. She lived under the roof of her aunt's house, and she always had poor food and clothing, so that after her period came, she was tortured to death by dysmenorrhea every month. This feeling was so good that she went to Su's mother to ask for a menstrual belt. Su's mother was quite happy to hear that she was on. Wait, mother will sew you some new menstrual belts. You are not feeling well, so don't go to the county tomorrow. Just rest at home. How can that be possible? She still has to take care of her elder brother. Menstrual belts at this time are not very useful. If the amount is too much, it will stain the pants. Therefore, during this period, most women stay at home and do not go out. It's okay. There is still cotton at home. Just put more pads. She felt that this thing was not very timely, but restricted her movements. But it's really inconvenient for your body. Su's mother is also an experienced person. She knows that this time is especially important for girls. If you accidentally get it on your pants and show it, you will be pointed out. Su's mother's thinking is still very conservative. Suwon also knows how important a girl's reputation is in this era. There is really no way. It's better to follow the local customs. If you insist on yourself too much, you will suffer sooner or later. So, Suwon can only think of another way. She set her sights on Su Chen. The third brother is the easiest to talk to. He has a good personality and won't ask too many questions. It's most reassuring to ask him to accompany Su Jing, and he has a super high force value to talk. Suwon found Su Chen alone and told him about asking him to accompany his elder brother to the academy tomorrow. Wan, what do you want to tell me? So mysterious? Suwon pulled him to the back of the house, intending to make up a reason for him to listen to. That is, I want you to accompany my elder brother to the academy tomorrow, but I won't go. It's not convenient for me now, and you must bring him back tomorrow. Su Chen was very confused. What does it mean to bring him back? Do you think there is something wrong with my elder brother going to the academy this time? Suwon nodded, and then told him the excuse he had made up. When I went to the academy to find my elder brother before, I discovered a secret. Doesn't the dean have a daughter? She seems to have taken a fancy to our elder brother, and she always pesters our elder brother and wants to marry him. This is a good thing. The daughter of the dean of Zhongyun Academy must also be a learned and talented woman who is well-educated and well-mannered. She matches my elder brother and is a good match for the family. With a father who is a Jiren, Zhao Xian seems to have a filter, and outsiders think she must be the same as her father. But in fact, only those who are familiar with her know that she is born a bad seed. No, you don't know her, so you don't know. When I was a daughter of the Gu family, I also dealt with her in the circle of celebrities in the county. She is completely different from the rumors. On the contrary, she was spoiled by her family. She is arrogant and domineering. She once claimed that only a scholar with both talent and beauty can match her. She never took ordinary common people seriously. So, does the third brother still think she is suitable for the family? These words are not made up by her. The original owner did deal with her several times, but when she was only 7 or 8 years old, she met her that day. Soo-won had grown up, so she didn't recognize herself. She did say these words, but she didn't wrongly accuse her. Is it really so? Soo-chun was a little unbelievable. It stands to reason that the children of such a scholarly family are all well-educated and well-mannered, and their words and deeds are very dignified. Third brother, don't be fooled by the appearance. You have to know that if the eldest brother becomes a scholar, he must find a woman who is truly knowledgeable, well-mannered, and dignified to take care of the backyard and serve the parents. If the other party is arrogant and domineering, how can she treat her parents well? I saw with my own eyes that she was almost entangled with the eldest brother, and her words were frivolous. She is really not a good match. Moreover, the eldest brother is just an ordinary student in the academy. It is normal for students to leave the academy and return home. What kind of big things can happen in the academy? It is necessary for them to go to the countryside in person to find an ordinary student. The affairs of the academy are not the eldest brother's business. This is too suspicious. It's not that I am petty, but I really don't want the eldest brother to have a bad future. Soo-chun frowned when he heard it. He felt that what Soo-won said made sense. The main reason was that her analysis was very logical, and it was difficult for people not to get involved. But why didn't you tell the eldest brother directly? Soo-chun was confused again. Big brother respects teachers, as the saying goes, once a teacher, a father for life. If the dean of the academy insists on looking for him, he will not refuse with his personality. Just let you accompany him to see what he wants to do. If it is really something, it's fine, but if it is just a small matter, isn't it a case of trying to cover up the truth? In fact, this matter is not troublesome, it's just a trip, and what Soo-won said makes sense. What if the other party has other intentions? Okay, then I will go with Big Brother tomorrow. Soo-won felt that she would do anything to achieve her goal. She felt a little ashamed of herself, and always felt that this was not good. Third brother, do you think I think too much and care too much, which is annoying? Soo-chun laughed on the spot when he heard this. Silly girl. Why do you think so? I love you so much. How can I find you annoying? Besides, you are just more cautious and don't want your eldest brother to get hurt. This is for our own good. We have all seen what you have done for the family for so long. Soo-chun rubbed her head. His tone was gentle, and his smile was doting. Soo-won was quite happy when he said that, but she still felt it was despicable and shameless. Shameless. She was also doing it for the good of this family. This family would fall apart without her. In fact, there was a reason for not telling Soo-jing. He was about to go to Beijing, and she didn't want him to know these dirty things and add to his troubles. The behavior of the Zhao family father and daughter climbing the bed was much more shameless than her. She just made up some nonsense. That's right. Soo-won comforted herself. The next day, Soo-won stayed at home to rest. The eldest brother, the third brother, and Soo's mother went to the county together. The third brother insisted on going with Soo-jing. Soo-jing said he could go alone, but Soo-chun said he had nothing to do, so he asked him to go with him. There was no way. I don't know when my brother became so fussy. Arriving at the county, the two brothers first sent Soo's mother to the bank and then went to the academy together. However, at this time, because the academy was about to celebrate the new year, all the students had returned home, and even the teachers inside had gone back. The old man guarding the gate told him that the dean was seriously ill and specifically instructed that if Soo-jing came, he should go directly to Zhao's house. When Soo-jing heard that the teacher was seriously ill, he went to Zhao's house immediately out of courtesy and bought snacks and gifts to visit. When the gatekeeper of Zhao's house heard that Soo-jing was coming, he hurried to report the news. Zhao Tongda and his daughter and wife, who were eating elbows, immediately took action. Zhao Tongda lay down on the couch and put some flour on his mouth, pretending to be weak, as if he was dying. Soo-jing and Soo-chun saw this scene as soon as they came in. Mrs. Zhao and Miss Zhao were crying with their faces covered, but they didn't see any tears. As soon as Zhao Xian saw Soo-jing, she came over shyly and called out, "Su-leng, you are finally here. Do you know how sick my father is?" Soo-chun heard the voice and thought, This Miss Zhao is just as Suan said. Her words are frivolous. She and the eldest brother have no engagement. Why is she calling so intimately? But Su Jing has become accustomed to it. What can he do if he doesn't listen? If it weren't for beating a woman being against the image of a gentleman, he would have done it long ago. Besides, it is human nature to grow old, get sick, and die. What can he do if he is sick? Can he get better without seeing a doctor? Su Jing complained in his heart. I have never seen such a shameless girl like her. Dean Zhao is such a respected teacher. Why did he teach her such a temper? If it weren't for the teacher, Su Jing would have turned his face. He didn't even look at Zhao Xiyun and went straight to the bed to look at Zhao Tongda. Before returning home, he was very energetic and looked full of energy. How could he become like this in just a few days? Teacher, why did you suddenly become seriously ill?
How do you feel now?
Zhao Tongda hummed in his mouth, as if he was about to die, and he acted quite like that. Su Jing, you are my most proud student. When a teacher falls ill, you are the one I miss the most. If you say he is not sick, he looks very bad, but if you say he is sick, he doesn't even breathe when he speaks. Of course, this is just Su Chen's self-righteousness. Su Jing still respects the teacher very much. Thanks to the teacher's appreciation, Su Jing dare not be arrogant. If he said that, Su Jing would be a little afraid to recognize it. As the dean, Zhao Tongda actually didn't teach them much. The one who taught him the most should be Master Lu. If it is about the proud student, it should be Master Lu, who is more appropriate. At best, he was the best among the many students in Zhongyun Academy, and he was also the one who had the greatest chance of passing the imperial examination. Therefore, Zhao Tongda chose him after careful selection and wanted to give his daughter to him. To put it bluntly, it was a wish that he could not fulfill in this life, and then he set his sights on Su Jing. He wanted to be associated with the literati until his death, and he had reached the point of paranoia and morbidity. He had observed Su Jing for a long time, and his articles, poems, and essays were all very well written. He would definitely not stop at the position of Jiren in the future. However, Zhao Tongda could only stop at Jiren in this life. He failed in the imperial examinations many times and could never pass the joint examination. In order to achieve his goal, he even planned to let his daughter rely on Su Jing by climbing into bed. Zhao Xiyun had always admired Su Jing, and her father proposed this method, and she agreed, without thinking. Su Jing didn't want to talk about love with her at all, and even hated himself a little. If he wanted to stay with him forever, it seemed that this was the only way to go. Teacher, you are blessed with great fortune. I believe you will get better soon. Su Jing bowed to him. I think it's because there hasn't been a wedding in the family for too long, so it's too cold. If there can be some happy events, maybe the disease will get better faster. Su Jing just said a polite word, and Mrs. Zhao immediately took over the stock, saying that she was looking at her daughter and winking at her. Zhao Xiyun knew what she meant, and shyly called her mother and acted coquettishly, with a long-tail tone. In fact, it would be better if Su Jing agreed to marry Zhao Xiyun himself, so there would be no need to use that despicable trick. But Su Jing also understood the meaning of her words. After all, Mrs. Zhao had hinted many times that she intended to marry her daughter to him, and he always found an excuse to avoid it. Su Jing just kept silent and never responded to her. At this time, Zhao Tongda also began to cooperate. Ah Jing, I only have this one daughter, and I am really worried. If I can't see her get married and start a family with my own eyes, I am afraid that I will not be able to wait until then. There are not many people who can make me feel at ease. If I can find a good man, all the family property of my Zhao family will be handed over to my son-in-law in the future. First, it's bribery. If it doesn't work, then talk about other things. If Su Jing is the kind of person who covets glory and wealth, he might agree, but he will never give in. He is not willing to spend his whole life with a woman he doesn't like. Even if you are my teacher, that won't work. In the original book, they insisted that Su Jing had a relationship with Zhao Xiyun, so they forced him to marry her. Then I wish Miss Yin to find a good son-in-law as soon as possible. At that time, I will prepare a gift and come to congratulate in person. Su Jing chose to avoid suspicion and clear himself. He is ready to send a gift, which means he has never thought about any longer-term development with Zhao Xian. Zhao Xian pouted and looked at her mother aggrievedly when she heard this. Su Jing, I think you are very good, with good character and appearance, and you are a perfect match for my Yuner. Madame Zhao is so shameless. No wonder her daughter is also shameless, as if she is not willing to get married. Su Chen watched them acting from behind and thought that his sister Su Wan was really amazing. She was right in her guess. They were really targeting their eldest brother. Now it seems that Miss Zhao's moral character is really not very good. It should be said that the moral character of this family is not much better. Whose family is so good that they force their daughter like this? It's unworthy of being a scholarly family. Su Jing knew it, so he tried his best to control his expression and replied, Madam, you think too highly of me. We have many brothers and a poor family. Miss Yun is a daughter of a rich family, and it is not a good match for my family. What's more, I have no intention of having a man or a woman with Miss Yun, and I am afraid that I will ruin Miss Yun's life. Now I just want to work hard to get a good reputation, and I have no intention of getting married. I am afraid that I am not worthy of the kindness of Dean Zhao and Madame Zhao. Please choose another good husband for Miss Yun. Su Jing simply stopped calling her teacher and called her the dean directly, which was enough to prove his resistance to this matter. Su Lang, I don't mind your poor family. I just want to stay with you forever. It's okay if you don't like me for the time being. After a long time, you will definitely like me. Zhao Xian's words were so explicit that they were insulting. Zhao Tonda coughed a few times and signaled her to shut up. But Zhao Xian pretended not to hear and even made a swearing gesture. My love for Su Lang is known to all. Su Lang said frankly that his family was poor and that we were not a good match. In fact, he was thinking about me and was afraid that I would suffer. But I am not afraid. As long as I can be with Su Lang, I am willing to do anything. Zhao Xian has a top love brain and self-conquest. She also automatically ignored Su Jing's words that there is no meaning of men and women and thought that this was for her own good. Wang Baochuan came and saw her like this, so she had to give her a handful of wild vegetables. Miss Yun, that's not what I meant. I don't have such intentions for Miss Yun. I am not a good match for you. I came here today to visit Dean Zhao. My mother is still on the street buying New Year's goods. Since the dean is in good health, I will take my brother and leave first. Su Jing couldn't hide his desire to run away. When Zhao Tongda heard that he was fine, he thought that he was not pretending well enough, so he started to cough hard, wishing that his throat would cough out. But he couldn't stop Su Jing's desire to escape. Su Jing, since you are here, it's not too late to have a meal with your brother at home before leaving. Madame Zhao tried to keep him. Eating was not an option, so Su Chen quickly stepped out to smooth things over. Thank you, Madame Zhao, for your kindness. My mother came out to buy New Year's goods today, alone, and we two brothers need help. The New Year is coming soon, so I wish Madame Zhao, Mr. Zhao, and Miss Zhao a Happy New Year in advance. When they came, Su Wan specifically told them not to eat or anything like that, because food and drinks are the easiest to tamper with and the easiest to succeed, as written in the storybook. Su Chen now listens to Su Wan the most, and whatever she says is what she means. Su Jing really thanked his good brother, and was very relieved to be able to help him share his worries in time. We can send a servant to pick up Madame Su to have dinner together at home. The Zhao family was unwilling to give up this opportunity. If they missed this opportunity, when Su Jing really became a jinshi, they would not be worthy of him. By then, everything would be too late. Su Jing's smile was almost gone, and he almost broke down. It was true that Sima Zhao's intention was known to everyone. If he still couldn't see it, then he would not have the fate of being the third place in the imperial examination. Madame Zhao appreciated her kindness, but Su Jing didn't want to bother her anymore. Please forgive me and say goodbye. Forget about it, just leave first and don't bother about anything else. The two brothers left the Zhao mansion as if they were escaping, and they couldn't be stopped. As soon as they left, Zhao Xian showed her true colors and started to throw things and smash bowls and make a scene. Dad, Think of a way quickly. Didn't you say you wanted to match me and Jinga? Look at the way he keeps me away from him. It's almost the end of the year. If he goes to Kyoto, I'm afraid I will never be able to catch up with him in my life. Zhao Xian was crying and making a fuss. Zhao Tongda was not sick, but she was about to make him sick. Madame Zhao wiped her tears and coaxed her distressfully. Dear Yuner, don't worry. Let your father think about it. Su Jing is a child with good character and appearance, and he writes well. Several teachers in the courtyard have asserted that he will pass the imperial examination in the future. Your father is reluctant to throw away such a good son-in-law. This scholarly family is also divided into different levels. If you become an official's wife, you are a top scholarly family. A jinshi can enter the court, but a jurin can only pick up leaks in small places and become a ninth-rank official. How can there be so many leaks? Moreover, the ninth-rank official is too low, not impressive enough. Kyoto is a good place to go. In the early years, Zhao Tongda dredged up everywhere and finally bought a county magistrate position. As a result, the salary was pitifully small, not enough to support the whole family. Not long after, he resigned and came to Qinga County to set up a school. But look at him. He treats me like a flood and a beast. Will he come again next time? Zhao Xiyun is really unmoved. Yuner, don't worry. I have already considered it in my mind. Zhao Tongda's eyes turned, and a plan came to mind. Su Jing left the Zhao mansion with a stern face. Su Chen looked at him and smiled. Big brother, I didn't expect there was a girl who liked you so much. You are still teasing me? Third brother, you have also learned bad things now. Su Jing hit him on the shoulder. Su Chen just smiled and didn't continue to explain. The two brothers went to the bank to pick up Su's mother. She had exchanged all the copper coins for silver notes, leaving only some silver coins on her body. 30 taels of Su Yun's 200 taels were used for the renovation and expansion of the new house after the new year. Su Wan's 50 taels were not touched, and Su Jing's 100 taels could not be touched. Last month, the monthly allowance for the mine had been settled, and the couple had a total of 10 taels of silver. Together with the remaining money, it was enough for the family's daily expenses. She bought Su Wan a cloth of better quality and prepared to sew a few more sanitary belts for her. She also bought a lot of cotton. Just stuff a little into the sanitary belt each time. It is better to use than wood ash. Su's mother felt that the family was not so tight on money, so it was better to be particular about the things she gave her daughter, which was good for her health. She also bought her some brown sugar so that she could take it home and mix it with water. I also bought some melon seeds, peanuts, dried fruits, and firecrackers. I also had to prepare some mutton and fish so that we could have a warm New Year this year. Su Wan waited for them at home for most of the day, and finally they came back. She was relieved to see her eldest brother coming back with him. However, her eldest brother didn't seem very happy. He locked himself in his room to read after he came back. Su's mother taught Su Wan how to make a menstrual belt by herself. She also learned it seriously. After she finished, she asked her third brother what happened in the academy today. Su Chen told Su Wan everything he saw and heard today, and Su Wan's brows were furrowed enough to pinch a mosquito to death. She thought to herself, her eldest brother really attracts bad peach blossoms. First, he Jiaolon asked to be a concubine, and then Zhao Xian made a plan to conquer herself. They are all not good people. Now she knows why her eldest brother is unhappy. He must be numb. Su Wan originally thought that this matter should have come to an end. As long as his eldest brother survived the New Year safely and took the road to take the exam, it would be equivalent to getting rid of Zhao Xian. After that, he would no longer have the trouble of family unrest. But he did not expect that with only 3 days left before the New Year, one of his eldest brother's classmates suddenly came to see him. At first, everyone really didn't think much about it and treated him well. Su Jing had a good chat with him in the yard. This scholar named Zhou had a gentle and handsome appearance. After lunch at the Su family, he stayed for a while. When he was about to leave, it was Su Jing who left with him. Su Wan went to take a nap and didn't know about this. He only knew that when he woke up, his eldest brother was gone. Su Wan hurriedly found Su's mother and asked her what was going on. "Mom, Where's my eldest brother? Sue's mother was feeding the chickens, so she told her. Zhou Xiaotsai invited him to drink, saying that his classmates saw that they were about to part, so they booked a banquet in the county to drink together. Your elder brother worked hard in studying, and it was time for him to relax with his classmates. Just drinking with classmates? Could it be that a group of men could sneak in a girl? Sue's mother joked. Yes, in ancient times, these false etiquettes were most valued. Although there is no saying that 7-year-olds cannot sit together, it is definitely not okay for a woman to appear in a group of men if they're not a family. Despite this, Suwon was still a little worried, but the third brother was not at home at the moment. The plot is unpredictable. As long as it is not the time, no matter what, it is possible to have the same ending. Changing the plot means changing the ending of the characters. It is never that simple to change fate against the will of heaven. When the third brother comes back, he will have to trouble him to run there to watch over Su Jing. If he gets drunk, he will bring him back directly. Su Chen couldn't stay idle during the day, so he went up the mountain to hunt again. When he came back, it was already dusk, and Suwon urged him to pick up Su Jing. Su Chen was afraid that something might happen, so he didn't dare to delay. After eating a few mouthfuls of food, he hurried to the county. But he didn't expect that someone had been secretly protecting Su Jing, and there would be no trouble. Su Jing was indeed drinking with a group of classmates, but the waiter of the restaurant had been bribed, waiting for the opportunity to drug Su Jing, and Zhao Xiyun had already lay down in a room. Su Jing couldn't hold his liquor well, and after drinking some wine, he was already a little drunk, his cheeks were flushed, and he held his chin with his eyes slightly closed. Seeing him like this, Zhou Xiaotsai couldn't help but laugh and said, Brother Su is very talented, but he can't hold his liquor well. We finally have something that is better than Brother Su. In the academy, Su Jing ranked first in all aspects and was loved by all the teachers. In this provincial examination, only Su Jing was qualified for the metropolitan examination. Everyone laughed, except for Qi Xiaotsai, who had a feud with Su Jing in the academy, who snorted disdainfully. Just because you can pass the provincial examination does not mean you can definitely pass the metropolitan examination. The imperial examination is held every 3 years, and thousands of students go to Beijing to take the exam. There are many outstanding people. Being able to excel in Xiangzhou Prefecture does not mean you can also excel in Kyoto. Su Jing disagreed, and just smiled faintly. He didn't want to argue with him. He didn't say he was sure of it. But those classmates who were good friends with Su Jing helped Su Jing refute. Qi Yuan, Su Jing is already a Jiren after all. It's a done deal. He has passed the provincial examination. Unlike us, we are still just a scholar. Qi Yuan's face froze, and he drank a glass of wine unhappily. The waiter came in to add wine, and then he went to Su Jing's side and filled his cup. Everyone raised their glasses again, drank it all in one gulp, and talked and laughed. Only Qi Yuan was secretly competing with Su Jing. He just couldn't accept it. Why was Su Jing so outstanding in everything? Even Dean Zhou thought highly of him and wanted to marry Miss Yun to him. When Su Chen arrived at the county, it was already night. It was late, and he was afraid that he would be too late, so he quickly found the place where Su Jing was drinking. He happened to meet those students saying goodbye to each other, but Su Jing was the only one who was not seen. Su Jing was completely drunk, and he was sent to a guest room in a daze. However, Su Jing was the only one in the room, and Zhao Xiyun was not seen. Instead, Qi Yuan accidentally drank the pot of wine with aphrodisiac prepared for Su Jing. At this moment, his whole body was burning, and he was unconscious. He groped his way back to the room. The bed curtains were down. Zhao Xiyun was knocked unconscious and thrown inside. Qi Yuan opened the bed curtains and saw Zhao Xiyun sleeping soundly. He thought he was dreaming, and under the influence of the aphrodisiac, he stretched out his hand to her. When the light was turned off, they made love in the dark. The movements were so big that Zhao Xiyun was woken up. She thought it was Su Jing at the time and was very happy. He usually pretends to be gentle and elegant, but I didn't expect him to be so ignorant. In the dark, she smiled and hit Qi Yuan. Qi Yuan was drugged, and when he faced the girl he liked, his mind was full of that kind of thing. Moreover, scholars are basically gentle and elegant, and Zhao Xian's description is a summary. She was half-hearted at first, but later she was enthusiastic and welcoming. The two of them were like dry firewood, and they were about to ignite. And Su Chun found Su Jing and heard that he was resting in the guest room. He was scared and broke into a cold sweat. He thought, "It's over. I'm not really in trouble. I've been on guard for so many times, but it didn't happen. What should I do?" Pushing the door open with trembling hands, Su Chun was worried about his elder brother's marriage and felt that he had no face to report to Su Wan. When he saw that Su Jing was the only one sleeping in the room, he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, nothing happened, but Su Jing was so drunk that he was afraid he couldn't go home tonight and had to stay here. He also wanted to go back and report that he was safe, so that Su Wan would not worry about it anymore, but he was afraid that if he left, Su Jing would cause trouble again. At this time, a male voice sounded behind him. "Mr. Su San, you just need to stay here and take good care of Mr. Su. I will send someone to report that Miss Su is safe." Su Chen turned around and saw a young man he had never seen before. He was dressed in black, with a sword on his waist, and he was only about his age. "Who are you?" "My young master left a team of people in Qinghe County to protect the safety of the Su family in secret. Our people found that the waiter of this restaurant was bribed to drug the eldest son of the Su family and promote his marriage with a young lady of the Zhao family, so they secretly helped. Tomorrow morning, there will be a good show to watch." When Jiang Yu left, he deliberately left them behind, saying that they were asked to protect the people of the Su family. There was no need to hide it from Su Chen, just tell him directly when you meet him. Because of his relationship with Jiang Yunhe, Jiang Yu was also very confident in his character. It was not that he did not trust other people in the Su family, but they did not know much, so there was no need to involve them. But Jiang Yu's order? The young master, he mentioned, should not be anyone else except Jiang Yu. The man nodded and clasped his fists towards Su Chen. "I am the leader of this team of secret guards. My name is Feng Ying. If you have any problems in the future, you can come to Yong'an Tea Shop to find me. When you come, just say that you want 3 tales of Biluakun produced in March, and someone will take you to see me. But please keep this matter secret from others. Only you know this. Our young master has a special identity. If too many people know about it, it may cause unnecessary trouble. Please forgive me."
Su Chen nodded.
He knew that Jiang Yu's first identity was the young master of Fengyue Villa. There was another identity that the master had not mentioned. He only knew that Jiang Yu was also a famous family in Kyoto. Moreover, there were too many people who wanted Jiang Yu's life. Just the identity of the young master of Fengyue Villa alone had many people thinking about it and were very dissatisfied. "I understand. Thank you for your help and protecting my elder brother." "Thank you." Su Chen also clasped his fists towards him. "No, we all followed the young master's orders, and we are loyal to our position. The Su family has given our young master a second life, and we should do all this." Feng Ying was very frightened. The young master said that we must respect the Su family, especially the young lady of the Su family, and we need to take more care of her on weekdays. It was the first time they saw the young master caring so much about a girl, but it was no wonder. After secretly observing her, the young lady of the Su family was born with a beautiful face, which could compete with the sun and the moon, and she was extremely intelligent. No wonder the young master looked at her differently. As long as the young master likes a girl, she is their only sister-in-law and must be protected. In the original book, Guyu did not have this treatment. Jiang Yu had no feelings for her in the early stage, and he did not have to be with her in the later stage. The author said that Jiang Yu is a person who would not compromise. His feelings for Guyu started just because she was different, and he looked up to her, but he did not like her to the point of giving up his life, and there was also a life-saving grace in the middle. He is not willing to compromise in love, and will not stay single for the rest of his life just because the heroine marries someone else. In his opinion, if they are not compatible in spirit, even if he doesn't like Guyu, he will choose not to marry for the rest of his life. Su-won waited at home for a long time until the people from Fengying came to report that they were safe. His men even dressed up as waiters and wore waiters' clothes. The eldest son Su was drunk and had difficulty moving, so he had already stayed in our inn. The third son Su sent me back to report that he was safe, saying that he was with the eldest son Su tonight and nothing happened, so he asked the young lady to rest assured. In the middle of the night, the waiter came over the mountains and ridges alone to report the news. He is very brave and is not afraid of encountering wild animals. Su's mother simply thought that Suwon was worried about Su Jing's late return, so she didn't think much about it and even asked the waiter to stay. "My dear brother, it's getting late and the dew is heavy. There are many wild animals in the mountains. It's inconvenient to walk at night. It's better to bear with it and squeeze in with my sons. It won't be too late to leave tomorrow morning." Su Mu and Su Yi were listening in the back. They looked at each other and felt something was wrong. Their thoughts coincided with Suwon's. The clothes on the waiter in front of them were not very fitting. He was 9 feet tall and strong and looked like a martial artist. Moreover, generally speaking, if someone of his size went out to find a job, there were many more ways to make money than being a waiter.
I won't bother you, madam.
I have companions waiting for me, so I won't stay overnight. The waiter refused Su's mother's kindness. If she didn't want to, she couldn't force her. Suwon asked Su's mother to give him some more money as a fee for running errands. Su's mother didn't know how much to take, so she only took 10 coins, but the waiter refused to take it. "Young Master Su-san has already given it. Madam, please take it back. I'm leaving first." The people sent by Fengying had never been waiters before, so they didn't know the personalities of some waiters. For this profession, the usual extra income is from rewards. If they can take more, they will definitely not refuse. But Su Chin was afraid that they would be worried, so he took a token from Su Jing and asked the waiter to bring it to Suwon. It was Su Jing's purse, which was sewn by Su's mother herself. Su's mother certainly recognized it, so the Su family believed it. Suwon knew that his elder brother was fine, and he could finally sleep well. Everyone yawned and went back to their rooms. Su-yun was particularly energetic these 2 nights, because he slept too much during the day, and he was energetic at night. Poor Su-chun, a tool man, had to run back and forth, and he had to take care of his drunken elder brother all night. Not long after he fell asleep, the inn heard a woman's ghostly howling. This woman was none other than Zhao Xiyun. Last night, she was lying excitedly in the room prepared for Su Jing, waiting for someone to send Su Jing, who had been drugged, to her so that the matter could be settled. However, Fengying's people found out, so they tried to knock Zhao Xiyun unconscious and sent her to another room. When they were ordered to protect the Su family, they had already checked all the people in the Su family and knew that Su Jing had a mortal enemy in the academy, who was not a good person either, and that he was a perfect match for the young lady of the Zhao family. Then, they swapped the wine with aphrodisiac prepared by the waiter with ordinary wine. Qi Yuan drank the wine, and then he and the young lady of the Zhao family came to fruition naturally. As for Su Jing, the waiter just sent him to the agreed room as ordered, and didn't care about anything else. So, when Zhao Xiyun woke up from a night of love, she found that the person next to her was Qi Yuan. She thought of her dissolute appearance last night, and then looked at her body, and she screamed. Qi Yuan was awakened by her cry, and his thoughts gradually came back. Thinking of what happened last night, he said to Zhao Xiyun with a red face, "Yuna, don't worry, I will be responsible for you." "Get out, who wants you to be responsible? Why you?" Zhao Xiyun beat him up. Qi Yuan didn't fight back and let her beat him. Su Jing woke up after a hangover and felt his head was swollen. Seeing Su Chin here, he was still a little confused. "Third brother, why are you here? Where is this place?" "Big brother, you drank too much last night. I came to pick you up, but you were drunk, so I stayed here for a night."
Su Chen answered truthfully.
Su Jing thought about it carefully. It seemed to be true. He didn't think much about it, got up to wash, and then prepared to go home with Su Chen. The Zhao family has already discussed it. When the time is right, they will come to expose the 2 of them and force Su Jing to marry Zhao Xiyun. Madame Zhao rushed into Su Jing's room with her people. At this moment, Su Jing and Su Chen were packing up and preparing to go out. According to the script rehearsed in advance, Madame Zhao pushed open the door and came in and directly identified Su Jing. "You beast, What crime should you be charged for defiling my daughter's innocence? Su Jing looked at her with a head full of question marks, wondering if he was too excited or still dreaming. Madam Zhao, what do you mean? Su Chun on the side questioned. What do I mean? Don't you know it in your heart? Your eldest brother defiled my daughter, and you still ask me what I meant? Madam Zhao was righteous and confident, and she really didn't doubt that their plan had gone wrong. Su Jing's face darkened, and he said in a deep voice, Madam Zhao, I respect you as my master's wife, but you slander me so much with empty words and ruin my reputation. I will also go to the government to sue you. You sue me? What can you sue me with? I tell you, if you don't take responsibility for my daughter, I will let you sit in jail, and you will never have the chance to take the imperial examination in this life. Mrs. Zhao's triangular eyes were full of sarcasm. Not being able to take the imperial examination touched Su Jing's sore spot. Mrs. Zhao, you have to provide evidence to slander someone. There is nothing between Miss Zhao and me, and nothing has happened. You put such a crime on my head. Su is really wronged. Mrs. Zhao looked around a room and found that her daughter was not in the room until a maid ran in a hurry. Madam, something bad has happened.
It was a mistake.
Our young lady and Mr. Qi. Seeing that there were outsiders, the maid was unable to speak, so she stammered and explained the situation in her ear. After listening to it, Mrs. Zhao almost rolled her eyes and fainted on the spot. The old woman supported her and prevented her from falling to the ground. My God, Mrs. Zhao sighed to the sky, turned around and walked out of Su Jing's door, and went straight to Zhao Xian. When she saw the situation in the room clearly, she burst into another wail. At this time, the room was already full of onlookers. Someone recognized Mrs. Zhao as the wife of the dean of Zhongyun Academy. Then, the one in the room must be Miss Zhao, right? Unexpectedly, the daughter of a scholarly family was so shameless that she even ran out to have an affair with a man outside her family. Yes, I thought that the children raised by such scholars must be well-educated and well-mannered, but it turned out that they were so shameless that they found a man before they even got married. The onlookers were talking to each other, and their words were extremely ugly. Mrs. Zhao asked someone to close the door and put clothes on Zhao Xian. As for Qi Yuan, he could only be taken back to Zhou Mansion for discussion. Such an ugly thing is not easy to talk about outside, otherwise, don't you think it's not enough to lose face? But they didn't expect that they would shoot themselves in the foot. Half of them succeeded, and half of them didn't. The reason they didn't succeed was that they didn't calculate Su Jing, but they succeeded in finding a son-in-law for themselves. When Su Jing and Su Chen passed by, they overheard what happened at the door and knew what happened inside, including Zhao Xian's desperate cries that could not be covered. Su Jing laughed at himself, and then went home with Su Chen. He felt worse than if he had eaten a fly. If he couldn't see the Zhao family's ulterior motives, he would be a fool. Otherwise, why did Mrs. Zhao come to him without knowing the truth? She started to slander him before she knew anything. Feelings, these were all directed at him, but he was lucky enough to avoid them. But he didn't know that the reason he was able to avoid them was because of the bug of Jiangyu. It was so scary. Whoever marries a woman like Zhao Xian will be unlucky for the family. She has a dirty mind, and the upper beam is not straight, and the lower beam is also crooked. After being silent all the way, when he returned home, Su Jing was completely broken when he saw Su Wan, who was caring about her. He looked at his well-behaved sister and couldn't help but complain in his heart, why is this girl so well-behaved and sensible? Su Chen told the Su family about the absurd things he saw in the county as a joke, and everyone in the Su family sighed. After listening, Su Yun couldn't help but ask, why do I feel like it's directed at my eldest brother? It's directed at my eldest brother, isn't it obvious? Su Wan looked like he saw through everything. Wan, how do you see? Su's mother asked curiously. There is no way. Women are gossipy, and when they gossip, they will even eat the gossip about their own son. The eldest brother said that the Zhao family had tried many times to betroth Miss Zhao to the eldest brother, but the eldest brother was unwilling. So, why did they insist on betrothing their daughter to the eldest brother? The main reason is that my eldest brother is too outstanding. He is the best among the many students in the academy. When I was in the county, I heard that Dean Zhao failed the imperial examination many times in his early years and stopped at the level of Juren. Later, he founded Zhongyun Academy. The imperial examination was a thorn in his heart, so he should be thinking of choosing a son-in-law who is capable of passing the imperial examination. This is understandable. Parents should choose the best for their children. The girl a man wants to marry must be virtuous and beautiful, well-educated, and suitable for the family. And the man a woman wants to marry must be ambitious, talented, and beautiful, and upright. You must see his future fortune at a glance before you can entrust him with your life. My eldest brother was already a Jiren at a young age, and he had plenty of opportunities to pass the imperial examination. So people wanted to push their daughter to my eldest brother before he could rise to prominence. In fact, isn't it the same for village chief He and others? Otherwise, do you think that our Su family was so poor that we had to eat dirt before, and which good person would rush to send his daughter to suffer? They are all profitable. If the eldest brother really becomes a scholar in the future, they can also benefit a lot. Su once said it very realistically. Life is like this. If there is a choice, who doesn't want to choose the best? Su Jing laughed at himself again. I didn't expect that I, Su Jing, would become a hot commodity. My eldest brother is a talented man who is as gentle as jade and elegant. Only in the face of absolute ability will he be remembered by others. Think about it from another angle. You are too good to be like this. Isn't this a recognition of the eldest brother? Su-won can always use a simple sentence to open people's depression. Look, as soon as Su Jing finished listening, his self-deprecating smile immediately turned into a happy smile. Wan is right. This is indeed a recognition of me. Su-won has a thorough view of things. What she said makes sense. If they didn't fancy the eldest brother's talent, do you think they were after our family's poverty? Sumu likes such sober people. Often only those who are sober and thorough can live the best life in the end. Suyun was laughing so hard that his wounds were about to split open, and no one knew what he was laughing at. Fourth brother, why are you laughing like this? Suwon felt that what they just said was not funny. Haha. I just think that what you just said about us being so poor that we have to eat dirt is really funny. Haha. Suyun's laugh point is really low, but his laughter is very contagious, and everyone couldn't help but laugh along with him. Father Su also laughed heartily. I suddenly remembered that more than half a year ago, I met an old man who was talking nonsense on the road. He said that he was a fortune teller. He saw that I was a lucky person based on my face, and said that he was willing to give me a fortune for free. I thought it's free, so I let him tell it. The half the mortal said that my family will welcome a lucky star soon. From then on, the family's fortune will get better and better. Not only will the source of wealth be abundant, but also everything we want will come true, and we will become rich and powerful. I didn't take it seriously at the time and thought he was teasing me. Who knew that after just a few days, Wanwan came back. Since she came back, our family has really been like the half-immortal said, the hotter the better, so Wanwan is the lucky star of our family. Mother Su agreed and nodded repeatedly. Speaking of this, I have to tell you something terrible. Mother Su was mysterious, and her expression was also very interesting. What's the matter, Mother? Tell me quickly. Su Yun perfectly inherited Mother Su's gossip cells. Haven't your father and I settled the last sum of money from the mine? But guess what? I also heard that the mine collapsed not long ago, killing many people. Some lucky ones were also paralyzed. A miner from Zijiling next door, who worked in the same mine as your father, had both legs broken. His life is over. He is only in his 30s. Now that I think about it, it's a good thing that I listened to Wanwan and came back early. If I still wanted to finish the 6 months, your father would be in danger. Maybe he would be the one who broke his leg. Sue's mother was scared when she thought about it. Their family really had a good fortune. As soon as the little lucky star came back, everything was worry-free, and everything turned out well. I didn't think Suwon was that amazing at first, but when everyone thought about it carefully, since Suwon came back, the money came in easily like water, and their family could always avoid all disasters perfectly. Isn't this a lucky star? And what do you wish for? Aren't the brothers' wishes all developing in the direction they want? Soo-won suddenly accepted the baptism of the family's eyes, a little uncomfortable. In fact, no one dared to think that if all these things happened to Sue's father, it would undoubtedly make the already poor family worse. The most heartbreaking thing is that Sue's father will lose his healthy body. Yes, thanks to Won-won, if she hadn't asked us to go home, the person with a broken leg might be me. Sue's father was a little scared. After hearing this from his wife, he broke out in a cold sweat in the middle of winter. Dad, this is your own blessing, and it has nothing to do with me. Soo-won is still quite humble. If it weren't for the god's perspective and the original script in her hand, she really couldn't have predicted it. In fact, she was quite happy to help her father and brothers avoid those disasters. Now, Sue's father has avoided the disaster of breaking his leg, and he lives a healthy life. He can enjoy his old age and die of old age in the future. The eldest brother also avoided Zhao Xiun, the shrew. He will definitely have a brighter future in the future, and he'll have a better wife and a peaceful home. Soo-yun's wound has completely scabbed over, and he has recovered very well. There are only 2 days left before the end of the year, and Soo-chin went to the county to inquire about the Zhao family's affairs, wanting to know how they were resolved later. It is said that the Zhao family kept it a secret, and the family members stayed indoors, and the Chi family had already sent someone to propose marriage. After Zhao Tongda learned the news, he was so angry that he vomited blood and fell ill. He was originally pretending to be sick, but this time, he was really angry and sick. After this incident, Zhao Xian made a big fuss in the inn. Originally, the matter would not be known to everyone, but as a result, she shouted a few times and the scandal was publicized. The good reputation that the Zhao family had accumulated in the county for many years was destroyed overnight. I am afraid that even Zhongyun Academy will not be able to run. His family style is likely to mislead the students. However, Zhongyun Academy's status in the county is there. The Qinghe County magistrate used the treasury silver to forcibly take over the academy on the grounds that Zhao Tongda's moral conduct was damaged, and he was not worthy of being a role model for others. From then on, the rules and regulations of the academy remained the same, and the teachers who taught in it did not change. In addition to Zhao Tongda's disqualification, Zhongyun Academy also turned from a private academy into a national academy with a system. County Magistrate Chow has always intended to take over Zhongyun Academy, and now he has got what he wanted. In this way, it is also very gratifying, and the Zhao family has also received the retribution they deserve. Zhao Xian will marry the Qi family on the Lantern Festival. Originally, if she married there seriously, with her father's original status, she would be considered a low marriage, with her natal family to rely on, and she could hold her head up in her husband's family. When the Zhao family had a good reputation, the Qi family also intended to marry them, seeing that they only had one daughter and such a large academy, which would be inherited by their son sooner or later. Now, the Zhao family's reputation has been ruined, the academy has gone, and Zhao Xian married into the family with a bad reputation. If Qi Yuan doesn't favor her in the future, one can imagine how miserable her life will be. Now, she can only enter the house quietly and can't even have a lively wedding. She married into the family because of an affair. If she still has a lively wedding, it will be a loss of face for her husband's family. It is said that Zhao Xian tried to commit suicide at home, but she couldn't change her ending. In this era, a woman's innocence is more important than anything else. If she is dirty, she can be drowned by saliva alone. On the night of New Year's Eve, the Su family's courtyard was posted with big red couplets, and a pair of red lanterns were hung at the gate of the courtyard, which was rare. In the past, their family would never be willing to spend money on lanterns, thinking it was unnecessary. But now, everyone is wearing unpatched clothes. They washed and preserved the clothes that Zhongyu bought for them. Except for Su Yun's bloodstained clothes, everyone wore brocade robes on New Year's Eve. Only Su Yun wore his old clothes, with a face full of resentment. He liked the light blue clothes when he first saw them, but it was ruined by a knife. At dinner time, there were chickens, ducks, fish, and meat on the table. When Soo-yun sat there, he felt like the masters of the Soo family and their grooms were eating at the same table. It was so abrupt. This was the first New Year that Soo-won and the Soo family had spent together. It was very warm. The family sat leisurely. The lights were friendly, saying goodbye to the old and welcoming the new, and the old illness was cured. The loving parents and the gentle and doting brothers were the scenes that Soo-won had only dreamed of, but now they have come true one by one. She will cherish and protect everything she has now. At night, it snowed heavily, which was very appropriate. Soo-jing would set off on the 10th day of the first lunar month and follow the caravan that was escorting goods from the prefecture to Kyoto. It was much safer than going to Beijing alone. First, he would go by land and then by water. Soo-won asked his mother to buy him 2 more sets of ready-made clothes, saving time and bringing them directly to Beijing. In a place like Kyoto, the prosperity was dazzling, and he had to dress decently so that he would not be looked down upon. No matter where you are, there is always a lack of people who look down on others. In the original book, the eldest brother was laughed at by the sons of the gentry because he was dressed shabby when he was rushing to take the exam. Soo-won didn't want her to come to this world and let such a heartbreaking thing happen again. In a place she couldn't see, a man in black jumped down from a tree branch, put away his paper and pen, patted the snow on his body, and exhaled a breath of hot air. It's done. Go back and report. When he returned to his residence, he showed their boss everything he had written today. There were a lot of random things written on it, filling up several pages. Feng frowned, then looked at his subordinate's silly smile and asked in confusion, "Did you write it?" The subordinate nodded, feeling that he was about to be praised. As a result, Feng took a pen and knocked him on the head a few times. "Do you want to see what you wrote? Didn't you say that you have to write it in detail before sending it to the young master?" The subordinate covered his head with grievance. "I asked you to write it in detail, not to ask you to write down how many times the 4th son of the Soo family goes to the toilet every day." Feng was very disappointed. How to write it? The subordinate stood a little further away from him silently. "How many years have you followed the young master?" "I have been with the young master since I was 10 years old, and it has been 8 years now." The subordinate answered truthfully. "In 8 years, even a stone would become smart. Can't you see who our young master really cares about? It's the young lady of the Soo family. Are you stupid? Do you think our young master would care so much about several grown men? In the future, you should focus on writing about what happened around Miss Soo. Forget about other things that are not important." Feng still sees it clearly. No wonder he can become the young master's right-hand man. Look how capable he is. Before the young master left, he said that Miss Soo is not like a man. She is very delicate and needs more care. These are all excuses. How is Miss Soo delicate? Being able to carry a full bucket of water with one hand, that is called delicate? Isn't the young master's implication obvious? Feng understands it. It's not easy for the young master to have a girl he likes, so they must protect her well. If even a hair is missing, they will not be able to report to the young master. "Got it, boss. Please give more advice in the future." The subordinate took back the paper and pen, crossed out the extra words, and copied it out again. For example, "Today is New Year's Eve. Nothing major has happened. Everything is the same as before. Miss Soo got up in the morning, and together with the young masters of the Soo family, posted couplets, hung lanterns, smiled, happy and carefree, and did not miss anything. Remember, although it is a secret guard, you must not disturb the lives of the Soo family. Just stop when you are done." When the subordinates left, Feng also gave a special instruction. Although it is a secret protection, it cannot be done like A. The young master only told them to write to report the situation of the Soo family at any time, but did not tell them to record these trivial matters. However, life in the Soo family courtyard is too dull, and there is really nothing good to record. Except for the incident of the Zhao family a few days ago, it has been successfully resolved. That night, Sue's mother gave all the children New Year's money. This is the first time they have received New Year's money since they grew up. Although it is only a dozen coins, it has never been set in the Soo family. Even the oldest Soo-jing has never received it. Thanks to Wanwan, the eldest brother received the New Year's money for the first time, so he gave it to Wanwan, wishing that Wanwan would be happy every year. Su Jing got the New Year's money and turned around to give it to Su Wan, adding some more to it, which was heavy. Su Jing copied books and saved a few taels of silver, and gave it all to her. The brothers discussed it and added their own private money to it, and each of them collected 2 taels to give to Su Wan as New Year's money. Su Mu simply said, "Good luck at the end of the year, and good health every year." Su Chen said that the third brother was not as knowledgeable as the eldest brother, and he only wished Wanwan happy and worry-free. The fourth brother Su Yun said the most, saying almost all the beautiful words he knew. Su Yi was still so gentle. When he gave the New Year's money to Su Wan, he only said, "When the fifth brother makes money in the future, I will buy Wanwan a lot of rouge jewelry." This is also the first time to spend the reunion year with their own sister, so of course they have to have a sense of ceremony. Su-won felt the heavy love from her brothers and pocketed all the New Year's money. To be honest, she was not as happy and satisfied as she is now when she was selling soap and shikima and collecting money. After the new year, the goat milk soap business will have to be reopened. For the shikima business, Su-won has not yet figured out how to do it for a long time. If you open a pastry shop, it will definitely not work if you only sell shikima. If there are few varieties, you can't compete with your peers. The only way is to sell the recipe of shikima. Their shikima is already famous in Qinghe County. When the news is released after the new year, there will surely be many people who come to collect the recipe. At that time, you can compare prices from 3 stores and sell it to whoever offers the highest price. Once the money is in hand, you have to think about some other ways to make money. You have to make money as early as possible. Save more money in your hands. It's not too much. If something happens in the future, you still have mountains of gold and silver as a backer, so you won't be too bad. The 10th day of the first lunar month came quickly. It was the day when Su Jing was leaving home. Everyone sent him to the entrance of the village. He would ride Lao Hongdo's ox cart to the county and then take the convoy from the county to the prefecture to Xiangzhou Prefecture to meet up with the caravan. Jiang Yu's people had been inserted into the caravan, and they would him secretly all the way until he entered Kyoto and lived in a small courtyard under his name. Although the Su family never asked him to repay the favor, he took the initiative to repay all these favors. The Su family saved his life, and he protected the Su family for life. Of course, there were many reasons for Su-won. Jiang Yu, who was far away in Zhongzhou, was always thinking about him in his heart. What he wanted to receive most now was the pigeon letter from Xiangzhou. "Ah Jing, after arriving in Dongdu, you must write to your family to report your safety, and write more in the future. This time you will be away for a year or so. Your family is thinking about you. You must remember. The thread in the hands of a loving mother is the clothes on the body of a wandering son. When the son is going on a long journey, the mother will naturally be reluctant to let him go. Mother, I will miss you in Kyoto too. Don't worry, I have found a place to live. It is a courtyard under a Yu's own name. You can rest assured and wait for my good news. I will pass the imperial examination for you no matter what. Brother, be more confident and come back to show us if you get in the top 3. Su-won knew that no matter how bad Su Jing was, he would still be a third-place winner. This was the setting of the original novel, and it would be the same no matter how bad it was. She also specially asked him to complete his knowledge on flood control. If nothing unexpected happens, it is a sure thing. Wanwan, brother should not be too confident, for fear that he will fail the exam and be laughed at.
Shuhing smile.
Su-won cried to death. Brother is really too modest. Brother can definitely do it. I wish you success in the imperial examination and a bright future. Su-won saluted him solemnly, and her pretty appearance was indeed pleasing to the eye. Father Su was so happy when he saw his well-behaved and beautiful daughter. Now it seems that we have indeed taken advantage of the Gu family. If it were not for the Gu family, how could our family have such a well-educated and well-behaved daughter? Su-won was embarrassed by his praise. If she had not come in, Su-won would not know how much people hate her at this moment. Mother Su gave him 100 taels of silver notes and some small change, and everyone watched him go away. The eldest brother's affairs have come to an end, and now it is the second and third brothers. In the original book, the second brother has seen the miracle doctor, and it won't be long before the miracle doctor will accept him as an apprentice and take him to travel around the country, learning and watching. With the second brother's talent, he has learned the essence in a few years and can integrate it. The third brother will join the army in the second half of the year after the border war. Since then, only the fourth and fifth brothers are left in the family. After the fourth brother recovers after the new year, he will also go to the state capital as an apprentice, and he will have to go for about half a year. The new year passed quickly. On the 15th day, Zhao Xian was carried into the Qi family in a sedan chair. She was obviously going to be the main wife, but her dowry was even shabbier than that of a concubine. If it weren't for the large dowry given by the Zhao family, she would have really been hopeless in the Qi family. Zhao Tongde fell ill before the new year and is now in a critical condition. If he is not willing to cheer up, I am afraid he will not have much time left. After the new year, the Su family was also busy building a house. Su's father invited good brothers from the Zhao and Chun families to do the work. In addition, there were several other families in the village who had good relationships. Su Chun and Su Mu all helped at home. Together with Su's father, there were a total of 10 people. When Jiang Sheng heard that the Su family was going to build a house, he took the initiative to help. He said that he didn't want any wages, but only provided lunch, and it was all considered as a repayment for the Su family's kindness in protecting him, and Jiao Xing father Su asked someone to choose an auspicious day for the groundbreaking ceremony. Because they needed to build a blue brick wall and add a few more blue brick houses, they had to go to the county brick kiln to order a certain number of blue bricks and blue stone tiles. From ordering burning paper to leaving the kiln, it took a total of half a month. After calculating the quantity, the blue bricks and blue tiles needed would cost about 18 taels of silver. The rest of the expenses, as well as the workers' wages, would cost about 30 taels of silver until completion. The nearest auspicious day would be 5 days later. After preparing the rooster and offerings, the groundbreaking ceremony could be held. Then the foundation would be dug. First, the original bamboo fence would be pushed down, and then the foundation of the house to be added would be dug. It would also take 10 days to dig the foundation of the wall. By then, the bricks and tiles would arrive. The roofs of the original adobe houses would be repaired casually, the straw roofs would be replaced with blue stone tiles, and the walls would be plastered. The Su family made such a big show, building 3 blue brick houses at once, which was a big deal. If this house is built, it will become the best family in Yengao except for Jiang Hunter's family. In fact, Su Wan was thinking that after Su Yun returned to Qinghai County and opened a restaurant, he would buy a small courtyard in the county to facilitate business. The old house at home will be renovated sooner or later. As a hometown in the future, it can't be too shabby. When you come back after several years, it must be livable. Su Wan was thinking about selling the recipe of shikima. Before he planned to spread the news, Gu Laoi from the Gu family came. He came suddenly. The Su family was digging the foundation and was busy. Some helped and some cooked. They didn't expect Laoi to come. Because of Gu Yu's incident, it was a bit awkward to meet again now. Laoi brought a lot of gifts and came alone, asking to see Su Wan alone. In Su Wan's impression, Master Gu is a businessman with a good reputation. When Su Wan was in Gu's house, he treated her well and was considered a kind father. Now, a big businessman like him took the initiative to find Su Wan, which must be related to business. Su Wan now has 2 good recipes to make money. Let's not talk about shikima for now. The recipe of goat milk soap is the key to getting rich. Once it is developed in the future is immeasurable. The Gu family does not do food business, so he probably doesn't look down on such profits. It must be for the goat milk soap because Gu Yu knows that the goat milk soap is made by her. The Su family's courtyard is under construction, and the dust is flying. It is not suitable for entertaining guests, so a small table is set outside the courtyard, tea is poured, and Su Wan sits opposite him. Facing a big businessman like Master Gu, Su Wan behaves calmly and with undiminished momentum, which makes Master Gu very surprised. Having been a father and daughter for more than 10 years, he knows his adopted daughter to some extent. In terms of intelligence, she is at most smarter than other women. In fact, she is not very talented in business, unlike his biological daughter Guyu. Perhaps because of her biological relationship, she still has his talent in business. Moreover, Suwon knew the recipe of goat milk soap. Why didn't she show it when she was at Gu's house, but suddenly had the skill after returning to Su's house? Everything was strange, but she was really Suwon. Master Gu, you came here today, but if you have something to tell me, you might as well say it directly. You can see that my family is busy with construction and can't get away for the time being. Suwon was too lazy to say so many polite words to him and went straight to the point. Master Gu nodded and looked at Suwon carefully. It was indeed different. Except for the face, everything changed. But it's good this way. He was worried that she would suffer because she was not used to rural life. Now he thinks that he was worrying too much. We are planning to move our family to Yenzhou, and we will no longer be in Qinghe County, so Dad came to see you before leaving. He claimed to be Suwon's father, which made Suwon smile. I dare not climb up. The relationship between Master Gu and I is over. If we continue to call each other father and daughter, I am afraid it is not appropriate. Moreover, Madame Gu is also very resistant. If she knows, I am afraid she will say that our Su family is trying to climb up. No matter what Suwon does, once she has made up her mind, she will not linger on, so she said it decisively. This made Master Gu very embarrassed. He was also quite fake. He said that he was thinking about Suwon, but in fact, when the matter of the real and fake daughter came out, he chose to hide away and ignored it. He didn't even say a word to the original owner. Now that it's time for interests, don't you think it's inappropriate to say these things? Suwon, I was busy with business at the beginning and did not intervene in this matter. I also told your mother to keep you, but she insisted on having her own way. Mr. Gu wanted to explain, but was interrupted by Suwon. Mr. Gu, if you want to see me for something else, you might as well say it directly. If you come to say goodbye to me, then I know you can go back. I don't want to listen to his useless explanations, which are extremely hypocritical. Since you have chosen to break up, why not break up cleanly, so that everyone will be clear and refreshed? Seeing that Suwon was already impatient, Mr. Gu didn't say any more nonsense and directly asked someone to bring a box over. Wan, it's like this. Last autumn, a fashionable item called goat milk soap suddenly became popular on the market. The response was very good. People used it and said it was good. Later, I learned that this goat milk soap was made by you. You know, I am a businessman. I see the value of your goat milk soap. I am also willing to buy the recipe of this soap at a high price for our previous friendship. Do you think you would consider it? Oh, how high a price can Mr. Gu give? Suwon was very curious. Seeing Mr. Gu made a one gesture, Suwon guessed. 1,000 taels? Unexpectedly, Mr. Gu smiled. Wan, do you think that if a deal can be negotiated for 1,000 taels, I would come to you in person? Yes, the Gu family is a big family, the richest man in Qinghe County after all. This 1,000 taels of things is just a few months' expenses for his family. What is it? Is it worth him to go out in person? That's 10,000 taels? Suwon said it calmly. This number, in the eyes of ordinary people, is already ridiculously large, but she said it without changing her expression or heartbeat. As expected of the daughter he once taught, she is decent enough, Master Gu thought with satisfaction. Yes, 10,000 taels, to buy your recipe for goat milk soap. I think, if you rely on yourself to sell goat milk soap in Qinghe County or go to Xiangzhou Prefecture, how long will it take to earn 10,000 taels? If you agree to sell this recipe to my Gu family business, I will give you 10% dividend every year in the future, and I am willing to give you 3 shops in Qinghe County and a 3-entry house. At that time, your family can move to the county, and you can also use the shops to do other things. Is this sincere enough? Master Gu felt that the conditions he offered were very tempting. Moreover, he also added the last 2 conditions because of the father-daughter relationship with Suwon, which was considered to be a help to her. Unfortunately, Suwon covered her lips and chuckled. It seemed that she was not tempted. What is Wan laughing at? Do you think the conditions I offer are not good enough? Master Gu has already seen the deep meaning in her smile. Master Gu, please forgive me for not being able to agree. The benefits that this goat milk soap recipe can bring to me in the future are immeasurable. It is definitely not defined by a mere 10,000 taels and a 10% dividend every year. Maybe it is indeed difficult for me to rely on myself in the early stage, and the income will not be very high. However, once I make this business, the profit I will get in the long run in the future will be more than 10,000 taels. Suwon did not refuse him without knowing it, but made her thoughts clear to him. Moreover, if my goat milk soap craftsmanship is passed down from generation to generation, the income that can be created must be clear to Master Gu himself. If it were you, would you sell it? Master Gu played with the jade ring on his thumb. He thought that with Suwon's business acumen, as long as she was given enough things and the profit was big enough, she would nod and agree. But he didn't expect that she would consider it so far ahead. Moreover, the business he was interested in must have a very good prospect, so he would fight for it. If the Gu family relied on this goat milk soap business, it would not be impossible for them to become the richest people in Kyoto in the future. Then Wonwon could make any request. As long as Gu could do it, it was not impossible to negotiate. If you think the price I gave is still too low, I can transfer a restaurant under my Gu family business in Xiangzhou Prefecture to you. That is a long-term and stable business, and it is not a problem to make 1,000 taels a year. In this way, Wonwon only needs to stay in Xiangzhou Prefecture to make a fortune every day without having to travel all over the country and save a lot of hard work. Master Gu continued to throw out olive branches, which shows that the value of this goat milk soap is indeed immeasurable in his eyes. The conditions he gave were very generous and ordinary people might really agree. But in Suwon's opinion, it was still not enough. Not to mention 10,000 taels, she would not sell it even if it was 100,000 taels. To put it bluntly, goat milk soap can be regarded as a good thing that benefits the country and the people. If the technology is in their own hands and put into the future, the Su family will climb higher and higher. The fortunes of the Su brothers combined are enough to be among the famous families. But there is a saying that goes, it is cold at the top. If people stand high, uncertain factors and dangers hidden in the dark are enough to make them fall to death. So this goat milk soap is not only a way to make money for her, but also a life-saving talisman to protect the safety of the Su family. Master Gu is thoughtful and the Gu family is rich and powerful, which is incomparable to small families like us. But I'm sorry that I can't sell the recipe. You can see the future of this soap, and I can see it too. Being a businessman is like being a person. You must not only focus on the immediate interests, but also pay attention to the long-term interests. So, Master Gu, please go back after taking this trip. Suwon was calm and unhurried. After refusing, he began to see the guest off and made a gesture of invitation to him. Master Gu was of course unwilling to give up. He also thought that Suwon would refuse, so he had a trick up his sleeve. In short, he wanted to get involved with this goat milk soap. How about this? I can help Wonwon open up the sales of goat milk soap, help you set up a workshop, recruit migrant workers, and help you quickly expand this industry to the entire Dajin dynasty and even the western regions. You probably don't have much money now. It's not easy to set up a workshop, hire migrant workers, and open up sales. Moreover, you don't have any connections. It's not a matter of a day or a night to quickly become big and strong, but I can help you. You just need to give me 20% of the profit. When an old fox, he speaks better than he sings. According to what he said, this 20% profit alone is enough for him to eat until he is full. Sure enough, all businessmen are cunning. The richer the businessman, the more versatile and omnipresent he is. Master Gu doesn't know me. How can he know that I don't have startup capital? Besides, good things never have trouble selling. Even if you don't have connections, you can still make it bigger and stronger. Moreover, I am confident enough in my own things. Just look at its response in the market and you will know that as long as I increase the demand, expand the area and scale, it will take at most 1 or 2 years to make the amount you gave me. You don't need to say more about the rest. I am very busy and can't spare the time, so I won't chat with Master Gu. I believe that in the future, when we meet at the top, I will have the opportunity to cooperate with Master Gu. Suwon stood up, saluted him, and then prepared to go back to the courtyard. Master Gu called her again. Wan, wait a moment. Su-won turned her head to see what else he was going to say, but she didn't agree anyway. He pushed a small wooden box to the center of the table and said with a smile, Wan and I have been father and daughter for more than 10 years. I didn't come here empty-handed today. In this box is the deed of a house in Qinghe County. I don't want to see you living in this shabby house every day. Anyway, my family is about to move. This house is my gift to Wan. Mountains are not high, but they are magical if there are immortals. Water is not deep, but it is magical if there are dragons. This is a shabby house, but my virtue is fragrant. I have my family to accompany me. My parents are loving and my brothers are friendly. How can it be shabby? I will buy the house myself in the future. Master Gu, take care, and I won't see you off. May you have a safe journey. Su-won saluted him again, and refused to let him go. She didn't need the Gu family's charity. What do you mean they're going to move away anyway, and they don't want to see her live in a shabby house? What he meant was that no one lived there anyway, so it was empty anyway, so they gave it to them cheaply. Su-won had a stern face, and was really angry. She returned home, ran into the kitchen, and took a big gulp of water. The people working in the Su family had been looking at Su-won, wanting to know what was said, but they couldn't hear anything. Mr. Gu's face was not good either. He clenched his fists and looked at Su-won's back. His heart was surging. 10 years ago, he was wrong? Her adopted daughter is definitely not an ordinary person. Judging from her conversation, knowledge, and macro view, she is very different from the delicate and weak Su-won who is full of fun. Could it be that she was deliberately hiding her shortcomings in the past and had long been prejudiced against their Gu family, so she was unwilling to offer the recipe of goat milk soap in advance? Otherwise, how could she change so much when she returned to the Su family? Mr. Gu couldn't figure it out. In the past, she was the only daughter of the Gu family. She had the best food, clothing, housing, and transportation. He and his wife also loved her like the apple of their eye, but this is how she repaid them. She is really an ungrateful person. But then again, Master Gu was also very upset. Why didn't he keep her at the beginning? Otherwise, would he have to go to such lengths to beg her? Forget it. After all, they were not destined to be together. For the sake of their past relationship, he would not pursue the matter any further. Let each of them be well. Leave a way out for each other, so that they can meet again in the future. Master Gu left reluctantly. When Mother Su saw Su-won coming back, all the family members ran over to surround her, wanting to know what he said. Wan, what did Master Gu say to you? Why did he talk for so long? Seeing that her daughter's expression was not very good and she looked a little unhappy, Mother Su was very worried, fearing that Master Gu had said something excessive. He wanted to buy the recipe of my goat milk soap. Su-won told them all the conditions that Master Gu had just proposed. When they heard the 3 words 10,000 taels, everyone in the Su family gasped in surprise. Is this the power of the richest man? 10,000 taels can be taken out casually. Not to mention, there are shops, houses, and the like. Although it sounds shocking, the Su family is by no means those people who are greedy for vanity and only care about immediate interests. They respect Su-won's decision very much. Of course, she has the final say on her own things. Wan, you can do whatever you want. Dad and Mom support you. While we are still young and strong, we can help you do a lot of work. I heard Su-won said that he wanted to open a workshop by himself, which would inevitably require a lot of manpower. Moreover, this kind of confidential recipe must be found by our own family. It is not safe to hand it over to outsiders. And we, Su-won, your 5th brother, and I will be at home to help you work. We don't need to rely on others. We can rely on our own hands. Su-chun was the first to express his opinion. What he lacks the most is a handful of strength. The 4th brother will go to learn cooking in a while. If he is not at home, there will only be the 3rd brother and the 5th brother at home. The 2nd brother also has to return to the county and will leave with the miracle doctor soon. Seeing her family so supportive, what reason did Su-won have not to continue working hard? It wasn't like they were doing nothing, they were working hard with her. Okay, After the house is built, I will sell the recipe of shikima and then use the money to set up my own workshop and sell the goat milk soap produced to various counties and prefectures. First, I will build a reputation in Xiangzhou Prefecture and then slowly expand to other prefectures. In the early stage, I will do purchasing on behalf of others, just like the business model we used to do with the grocery store. After the reputation is established, we will set up a store and open a branch. Suwon already had a general idea in his mind. You want to sell the recipe of shikima? Soo-yun was a little unbelievable. This shikima is also a good way to make money. Suwon heard it and explained to him seriously, shikima is only a novelty for a while, and no one will eat it all the time. After a long time, it will be like that. At that time, it will become more and more difficult to make money. Moreover, if we develop in the direction of a pastry shop, we will be the same, and we can't compete with other peers. Therefore, the best way is to sell this recipe and make a lot of money, which is better than losing all the money. In the eyes of the Su family, her mind is really flexible and useful. She can basically take care of everything and has thought of all the ways out. Suwon never rushes into anything blindly. She must have a plan in advance and will only implement it when she is fully confident. After she explained it this way, the Su family understood. She explained it clearly in a few simple sentences, and it was easy to understand. What you said does make sense, Suwon. You are more talented in business. If my restaurant is opened in the future, I would like to trouble you to give me some advice. According to what I said before, the restaurant will make a profit and then split it 50-50. Soo-yun felt that he still had a lot to learn from Suwon and should be humble when he should be humble. 50% is not necessary. I want 30%. You are the real boss, Su. Save more money and marry me a good fourth sister-in-law in the future. Suwon did not forget to tease him. She didn't care about the profit percentage. It was good that Soo-yun had this intention. As he was talking, he heard his second brother Su-mu burst out laughing. It hasn't started yet, but you are being modest. However, I'll say this in advance. If you need me, just speak up. He is rarely seen talking or laughing. He is like an iceberg. In the eyes of outsiders, although he looks very good, he is very dull and boring and a little stubborn. There are only a few things that can move him. If there is any insurmountable medical problem, he will forget to eat and sleep until he comes up with a solution. Therefore, in the original book, after the second brother took over the master's mantle, he also got a reputation for being eccentric. Don't worry, second brother. I won't be polite. Suwon winked at him, very playful. After the episode, everyone was busy again. The Su family had to take care of the lunch of the workers at home. Suwon went to Grandma Kai's house and bought a basket of eggs. Now, they don't make shakima, so eggs are not needed, but they can be used for themselves. He also went to the market to buy a lot of Christian carp. Christian carp is cheap, and there are discounts if you buy more. Grandma Kai's family had chickens in the henhouse again, and Suwon bought 4 roosters and hens to raise. The 4 chickens in the family have grown up, and the hens have started to lay eggs. Now she has bought chickens again. The wild boar meat that was hunted before the new year has been made into air-dried meat, and the kong is full of bacon. The rabbits in the rabbit nest are all very big. In a few months, they can breed again. There is no shortage of meat at home now, and rice can be eaten as much as you want. If it runs out, you can just buy more. What needs to be done now is to spread the news and wait for others to come to her house and talk to her about the recipe of shikima. Waiting for others to come to her house is different from looking for others yourself. If you take the initiative to look for others, you can only wait for others to lower your price, but if they take the initiative to look for you, the initiative will be in your hands, and she can set the price at will. Suwon discussed with her family and prepared to go to Qinghe County to find some people to spread the news in Lefengshai. Lefengshai is a chain store with branches in all the counties of Xiangzhou Prefecture. Only by selling the recipe to them can they get a high price. Suwon went to find some sharp-tongued women in person, gave them some copper coins, and asked them to go to Lefengshai to chat. As they chatted, they told the news to their shopkeeper. As long as they had heard of shikima or had eaten shikima, they would not miss this opportunity. Suwon only needed to wait at home. Several women took the money to do the job and went to Lefengshai together. According to the words Suwon taught them, they played their own words. First, they walked around the store without buying anything and looked embarrassed. At this time, the shop assistants would definitely ask them what they wanted. Then they took the opportunity to say that they wanted to eat shikima, but the store didn't have it. It was a pity, and how delicious shikima was. At this time, another shill came to interrupt and said that she knew the young girl who made shikima, who was from the village of one of her relatives. It's just that I haven't seen anyone selling shikima for a long time, and I don't know when I'll see them next time. These ladies are self-taught and perform better than Suwon. What if Lefengshai sells shikima every day? Their neighbors all like to eat it. If it's available here, they'll come to buy it every day. The shopkeeper of Lefengshai has been thinking about this shikima for a long time. He wanted to wait and see before, and even asked someone to buy it several times, wanting to study how to make it himself. He tried many ways and failed, or he couldn't make that taste. Anyway, it's much worse than the authentic shikima. They couldn't replicate it, so they had to give up. At the end of the year, they kept looking for the vendor selling shikima and wanted to buy their recipe, but they didn't come to the county again. Now that they heard someone mention it, how could they miss this opportunity? The clerk immediately went to find the shopkeeper and told him that someone knew where the vendor selling shikima lived. Several ladies were waiting, pretending to select cakes, waiting for someone to come and find them. The girls said that they would definitely come, and when the time came, they would tell the person the address she gave them. Suwon thought it was almost time, so she went home first to wait for good news. It didn't take long, but the next morning, the person she was waiting for came. The shopkeeper of Lefengshai's branch in Qinghe County came to Yanghaoao in a carriage and went directly to the Su family. Just like last time, a small table was set up outside the yard, and then the snacks and tea brought by Mr. Gu were placed on the table for entertainment. When Mr. Gu left, he only took the land deed with him. These food and drinks were not touched, and they couldn't be thrown away and wasted, so the Su family kept them, and now it was just the right time to offer them something. Lefengshai in Qinghe County is a female shopkeeper who looks to be about 27 or 28 years old, with regular and delicate features and a slender figure, but her eyebrows and eyes reveal shrewdness. The female shopkeeper's surname was Li. Shopkeeper Li saw that the Su family was a young girl who was still wet behind the ears and came to talk to her. Could such a young girl understand these things? However, since she took the initiative to come, she directly explained her purpose. I am the shopkeeper of Lefengshai in Qinghe County. My surname is Li. To be honest, I came here today to discuss the recipe of shikima with your family. Girl, if you can't make the decision, ask your parents to come and talk to me. I don't want to be accused of taking advantage of you, a little girl. Shopkeeper Li felt that Suwon was young and couldn't make the decision, so it was normal for her to have concerns. Suwon just smiled faintly and said, Shopkeeper Li, I have heard of your name for a long time. To be honest, the shikima you are talking about is the pastry I figured out. I didn't expect it to be quite popular in Qinghe County, suitable for all ages. If you want the recipe of shikima, you can only talk to me, but Shopkeeper Li can rest assured that I can make the decision myself. My parents and brothers at home have no objection. After he finished speaking, a trace of imperceptible surprise flashed in Shopkeeper Li's eyes. I didn't expect that this pastry was actually invented by this little girl. She underestimated her. Moreover, she was not afraid of her momentum, and she was able to talk to her calmly and smilingly. This kind of temperament and courage is really rare. In this case, I won't beat around the bush with Miss Su. I came here today to ask, do you sell the recipe of shikima?
Sell.
Suwon threw out a word with full confidence, without any hesitation, so direct that Shopkeeper Li didn't react. Seeing her smiling and sincere face, she was not a shy person. Miss Su, have you ever thought about how much silver this recipe would cost? Tell me a number so that I can see if it is within my expectations. An experienced person is an experienced person. She won't block her own way. On the one hand, she lets you bid, and on the other hand, she asks whether it is within her expectations, leaving enough room for herself to avoid her asking for too much. 5,000 taels, no bargaining. Suwon had thought about it a long time ago. When shopkeeper Li heard this number, the smile on his face faded a little. He raised his eyes and stared at Su Wan, gentle and sophisticated, but not abrupt. Miss Su, the price I expected is 4,000 taels. The price we offer must be reasonable. Pastry business is a small business. 4,000 taels, any pastry shop can only offer 3,000 taels at most. But our Lefeng's Hai is different. We have many branches in the whole Xiangzhou prefecture. The price we offer is already the highest. Are you really not going to give in? Yes, Lefeng's Hai is well known and has a good reputation. In the pastry industry, it is the industry leader in Xiangzhou prefecture. My 5,000 taels is already the lowest price. You actually took the initiative to come to me today. You must have seen the commercial value of this shikima, which can bring a lot of profits to Lefeng's Hai. I am just doing business in a small place like Qinghe County, but in just 2 months, I have made a profit of more than 100 taels. But if you put it on the market in multiple branches of your Lefeng's Hai, it will take no more than 2 years to fully recover the investment, and it will be pure profit in the future. I am also a lazy person. If I didn't want to suffer, I would not be willing to sell this recipe. After Su Wan finished speaking, she lowered her head and smiled embarrassedly, but she couldn't hide her pride. She was indeed right. If shakima is put on Lefeng's Hai, it will take no more than 2 years to recover the investment. Moreover, since Manager Li can come up with such a recipe, she can also get a lot of face and praise from their boss. If she is happy, she will be transferred to the branch of Xiangzhou Prefecture to be the manager. Wouldn't it be unparalleled? And what she said, if you listen carefully, is also very reasonable. Su Wan is in full control. 4,500 taels, Miss Su. Will you consider it again? Shopkeeper Li wanted to lower the price, but Su Wan shook her head, made a 5 sign, and smiled harmlessly. Shopkeeper Li, I said, 5,000 taels, not even a penny of the price. Don't hit a smiling person, and she is the one who needs help, so she can only accompany her with a smile. This girl from the Su family seems innocent, but in fact she is competing with her. She sings the play easily, making you feel like you are punching cotton, very powerless. Shopkeeper Li has met a tough guy today. This girl is young, and she not only calculates the account clearly but also weighs the pros and cons perfectly. However, Shopkeeper Li is also a shrewd person. She reported 5,000 taels to the boss. She wanted to get kickbacks, and seeing that Su Wan is young, she doesn't take her as a person. As a result, she kicked on the iron plate today. There is no way. The boss has been keeping an eye on Shakima's matter for a long time. Last year, she bought 2 copies and sent them to her boss's house. After tasting them, her boss was very surprised and had always wanted this recipe. Lefeng's Hai had not had any new products for a long time, and it was time to innovate to retain customers. This time, she issued a military order, determined to get Shakima's recipe, and also wanted to get some kickbacks, but the price offered by the other party was just stuck at 5,000 taels, and she couldn't get any bargains. Miss Su, for 1,800 taels, it sounds auspicious, you give it, and I will give it too. Shopkeeper Li still wants to get some kickbacks, no matter how much, so that she will not take the trouble to come here in vain. Shopkeeper Li, this is not appropriate. I have said it several times. If you don't really want it, I have other options here. Bai Weichuan also came to me. I just wanted to compare prices, so I didn't agree to them. Su Wan is also a very principled person anyway. She will not give in. She had also inquired about this Bai Weichuan, which was a rival of Lefeng's Hai. It was a pastry shop that had emerged in the past 2 years, but because its scale was not as large as Lefeng's Hai, it had always been suppressed by Lefeng's Hai. Presumably, if Lefeng's Hai could not come up with any new tricks, it would really be outdone. Miss Su, don't say anything. 5,000 taels is 5,000 taels deal. Shopkeeper Li's attitude changed very quickly, fearing that Su Wan would be unhappy and sell the recipe to Bai Weichuan. If the deal was not concluded and the other party took it away, then her job as shopkeeper would be over. Su Wan almost couldn't help laughing. Is Shopkeeper Li so realistic? Okay, the shopkeeper is a straightforward person. Let's hand over the money and the recipe. When the time comes, we will teach you step by step. But before that, the document must be written in duplicate and submitted to the government office for stamping before it can take effect. For such a large transaction, it is safer to go through the government. Shopkeeper Li let out a long sigh. This person in front of him will be amazing in the future. At such a young age, he is very smart and calculating. Okay, Miss Su has the final say. The document was drafted by Shopkeeper Li. After Su Wan read it carefully and confirmed that there were no hidden dangers, she signed her name and stamped her hand. After the document was stamped by the government, the silver bills were officially traded, and the recipe for making shikima was taught to them. 3 days later, Shopkeeper Li sent a carriage to invite Su Wan to Lefeng's for teaching. The document had been stamped with the official seal and officially came into effect. Su Wan asked her third brother to accompany her. When she arrived at Lefeng's and got her own document, Shopkeeper Li gave her a box with 50 silver bills worth 100 taels. After counting them, he went into the kitchen to start teaching. Lefeng's had recently called all the representatives elected by the semicolons to Qinghe County to learn how to make shikima. This shikima is very easy to learn. More than a dozen people came and learned it in one day. They all knew how to knead the dough. I told them the proportions and then taught them to go through the process. Basically, those who made cakes every day and dealt with flour could learn it in one go. There are many cakes that are more complicated than shikima. Shikima is the simplest one. Shopkeeper Li never thought that shikima was so simple to make, and it was fried. This was the first time he heard of fried cakes. Su Wan went there again the next day to consolidate their feelings. After tasting the shaki-ma they made one by one, they found that they had met their expectations and were almost there. 5,000 taels of silver were easily earned, and Su Wan quietly became a small, wealthy woman. On the first night, when Su Wan brought the 5,000 taels of silver note back to Su's mother, the family was silent, and their silence was deafening. 5,000 taels half a year ago, they never dared to think about it, but now it was in front of them, and they had to believe that this was not a dream. Let's replace all the furniture in the house with brand new ones. I thought about buying 2 horses and raising them back. I will get a horse carriage at home, which will be used for delivery in the future. It will be convenient to go anywhere. By then, the goat milk soap will be sold to Xiangzhou Prefecture and the surrounding counties, and there must be a decent means of transportation. It's all up to you. One can do whatever you want. Su's mother had no objection, and the Su family had no objection. Then let the third brother buy 2 docile and strong horses and build another stable. Dad wants to raise 2 piglets so he can raise them. Our family is not short of money now, so it won't be a problem to make the house more spacious. Su Wan made a plan. She would open a small garden in the open space behind the house to grow flowers. Now it is spring, everything is revived, and flowers are in full bloom. To make flower-scented goat milk soap and hair soap, raw materials such as flowers are indispensable. Many places need to be improved. Su Wan is going to start making low-end and mid-range soaps, some for the rich, and some for ordinary people. Su Chen made a special trip to Xiangzhou Prefecture to buy horses to saddle a carriage. Su Wan asked him to buy a lot of flower seeds from Xiangzhou Prefecture. Roses, hibiscus, jasmine, roses, peonies, etc. As long as there are flower seeds, they will be bought. Su Wan had studied gardening in her previous life, so taking care of flowers is no problem. She even wanted to get a few acres of land specifically for growing flowers and distilling and extracting flower dew and flower oil. As for distillation, she had practiced with her instructor in high school and college. As long as the necessary tools are prepared and the principles are followed, success will be achieved. When Su Chen came back from the provincial capital, he drove his own carriage. 2 horses cost 30 taels of silver, plus the carriage roof, a total of 35 taels. According to Su Wan's instructions, he bought a lot of flower seeds. While the house was being built in front, Su Wan took a small to loosen the soil and pull weeds in the back. All the weeds in the vacant lot in the back were pulled out, and the soil was turned over. Su's mother and others helped her, and it was done in just one day. Then build a bamboo fence at the back. The fence should be built higher. Chinese roses and roses will spread along the corners of the wall. After a few months, they will climb all over the branches and form a wall of flowers. This small piece of land is not enough. 2 acres of land must be used for growing flowers. Since goat milk soap is to be the main business, all plans must be made to be self-sufficient. Don't be afraid of spending money or effort. It is definitely not possible to grow flowers in 1 or 2 months in the early stage. After the flowers bloom, they are picked and dried for storage. A large amount of almond oil is needed to soak the flowers. For example, jasmine, osmanthus, and orchid can be made into soaking oil. Peony, rose, and Chinese rose can be refined into flower dew and flower oil to make soaps with different fragrances and colors. These soaps are high-end and specialize in the business of rich people. For ordinary people, it is the most basic goat milk soap, which does not add any flower oil and is only dyed at most. Everyone can afford it. In the evening, when the Su family was free, Suwon told her family about her idea of turning the several acres of farmland at home into a flower field. So, after dinner, the family sat around the immortal table. I want to make many different kinds of soaps, and the flowers needed are also necessary, but the piece of land behind our house is still not enough, so I want to discuss with my parents and brothers that the farmland at home will not be planted this year, and it will be used to plant flowers. Our family is not short of money to buy food now. I have some other plans at that time, but now it has just started, and we have to take it slowly. Sue's mother didn't have any objections, but Sue's father was a little hesitant. He was an authentic farmer, and his previous generations were all mud-legged. Ordinary people like them rely on the fields at home to make a living. Although things are different now and their family is rich, he still wants to plant some land to feel more at ease. Suwon understood his thoughts and nodded, which was understandable. So, she thought about spending money to buy a few acres of land, preferably close to home. If it was too far, it would be difficult for her to manage it. The villagers of Yengao, the fields at home are used to feed the family. If they were asked to buy it, no one would be willing. After thinking about it, she couldn't think of a good solution until Su Mu spoke up and made a suggestion. Let's find Jiangsheng. Their land has been vacant, and they have been panicking for these years. His mother is in poor health, and he and his wife have just started a family. They can't afford the burden of the few acres of land, and they are afraid that they can't grow food. Just buy the land from them, and they can get some money to support the family. Jiang Sheng is a good person, an honest and decent person. Sue's mother agreed with her son's words and immediately replied, "Your second brother said that, and I remember that Jiang Sheng's land was indeed barren. When his father died, he was not very old and could not farm at all. Although he is married now, Jiao Xing is still young and thin. How can she be a farmer? She can only do some housework at home and take care of her sick mother-in-law. The couple can grow some vegetables and so on. Your second brother has given you a good idea. Your father is a stubborn person. He has developed feelings for those acres of land and is reluctant to leave them uncultivated. Don't argue with him. After all, our family doesn't lack this little money. Wanwan, it's not that Dad is reluctant to give you the land to farm. It's just that when your grandfather died, he told you that as long as I am still in Yengao, the land must be used to grow food." Sue's father explained it clearly to Suwon, and he also had his own considerations. The ancients attached great importance to filial piety. The last words left by the old father must be kept. "Dad, you don't have to blame yourself. I understand. Then follow what my second brother said and go find Jiang Sheng to buy land. Jiang Sheng's family is not easy either. I'm thinking that we can ask them to help our family in the future. Once the business is established, we will definitely be short of manpower. We need a few trustworthy and honest people to help us." I also observed that he is a person who knows how to repay kindness. He has been helping to build the house at home for some time. Not only does he not ask for wages, but he is also willing to work hard. We can also do some good deeds and help him. Suwon saw that there were not many people in the village who could deal with them. There were only a few families. If they needed it, they would ask them to do the work. One of them was the Chen family, and the other was the Zhao family. They had a good relationship with the Su family. The fathers of the two families were good brothers with Sue's father. Aunt Chen was gentle and careful in her work. In my impression, Every time Suwon saw her, she would greet him with a smile. Once, the family cooked boiled eggs and gave Suwon one. At that time, Suwon had just returned to the Su family not long ago, which was a rare kindness. Aunt Zhao is straightforward, and she is not shy. She always helps Suwon to speak up before, and she can't stand those who are arrogant. But she is also very enthusiastic, and she will help as much as she can. Aunt Chen has 2 daughters and a son. Both daughters are married, and there is a 10-year-old son who studies in the school run by the village scholar. Aunt Zhao has 2 sons, who have married, and has granddaughters and grandsons. The 2 daughters-in-law are also very well behaved and obedient, and the relationship between the sisters-in-law is very harmonious. Only when the mother-in-law knows how to behave and reconcile, the family will be harmonious. Generally speaking, women who can manage the family well will not be too bad. Suwon went to Jiangsheng to talk about buying land. She had already learned about it. According to the market price, 1 mu of land is 20 taels of silver. The land can produce grain every year, so it is naturally expensive. Their family has 3 mu of land, and they have been panicking for a long time. It is only worth 15 or 16 taels at most, but Suwon still bought it at 20 taels per mu. Jiangsheng was very embarrassed. He didn't plant the land himself, so it was left there. Now Suwon wanted to buy it and offered such a high price, so he said he would give less. But Suwon had already prepared the silver. 60 taels was not a small amount. She had obtained the land deed before, and the 3 acres of land would belong to her in the future. Not only that, Suwon also hired Jiangsheng and his wife to help him take care of the flower fields in the future. Taking care of the flower fields is simpler than farming. Usually they just watered, weeded, and removed dead leaves, but once they want to do this, they have to do it themselves, loosen the soil, and sow. In the early stage, Suwon would assist them and tell them how to plant which flowers, how many days to water which flowers, and how much to water. That was all knowledge. Xiangzhou Prefecture has a pleasant climate, no drought or rain disasters, and normal rainfall, which is more suitable for planting flowers and plants. Moreover, in summer, although it is hot, the sun is not too strong, so flowers and plants can survive. This place is equivalent to the modern Yunnan area, which is suitable for growing flowers. But during this period, people's appreciation of flowers and plants, except for some nobles and famous families, ordinary people did not care much. After all, in their opinion, being able to eat enough is the most important thing. Suwon gave them wages of 3 taels per month, without having to travel far, near home, and taking care of the elders by the way, which is really the best. When there is nothing to do in the field, go to Su's house to help, pack soap, and so on. Jiangsheng received the silver for buying the field and took out another 40 taels on the spot and returned it to Suwon. Suwon, this 40 taels is owed to Jiangyu. He said that if he is not here, I will return the silver to you. Now I return the silver to you, and I will not feel burdened. Jiangsheng took the silver, but did not think about saving it, but cleared the account as soon as possible. Suwon did not refuse, and accepted the silver. If there is a chance to see Jiangyu again, it will not be too late to return it to him. Moreover, Jiangsheng and his wife now have something to do, and she gives them a monthly allowance. The 2 of them add up to 6 taels of silver, which is enough for the 3 people in the family. If you save a little, you can save a lot. Okay, then you won't owe Jiangyu anymore. I will transfer this money to Jiangyu in the future. Starting from tomorrow, go to the fields to work and pull out the grass first.
I will join you then.
It is February now. The earlier the seeds are sown, the better. The flowers in each season are different, and the flowering period is also different. Suwon is also thinking about building a few bamboo sheds and planting roses to cover the entire shed. After that, put beehives in it to raise bees so that the flowers can be used to their full potential. Bees collect nectar and turn it into honey. Honey has high nutritional value and can be exported. It is a rare thing. Bee embryos can be made into beeswax, which can also be considered to be fully utilized. When the goat milk soap store opens, it will definitely not only sell soap but also expand other businesses. Flowers can also be made into lip balm and rouge. She used modern knowledge to make lip balm with flower oil and beeswax, which is much better than those sold here now. Moreover, she has several recipes for ancient beauty creams, all of which she learned from online videos. She likes to watch these videos about ancient production methods the most, and she has tried them herself, so she has accumulated a lot of knowledge and experience. Now she has traveled to the ancient times in the book and used them all. Jiang Sheng is really grateful to Suwon. She gave them hope, gave them things to do, and gave them monthly silver. The old mother at home is in poor health and is worried about not having money to see a doctor. Suwon's move is a kind move. Jiang Sheng pulled Jiao Xing and kept thanking Suwon for giving them the opportunity. Suwon, we will definitely work diligently to help you in the future. Don't talk about these. The money is not given to you for free. Work hard in the future and take good care of my flowers for me. If there is a chance in the future, there may be more important things for you to do. Drawing big cakes is the strong point of bosses. Suwon has not been a boss yet, but this cake has been drawn for the employees. But Suwon is definitely not just responsible for drawing and not for implementation. When her business grows in the future, if Jiang Sheng and his wife do well and are worthy of promotion, she will also consider if there is a chance in the future, there may be more important things for you to do. Drawing big cakes is the strong point of bosses. Suwon has not been a boss yet, but this cake has been drawn for the employees. But Suwon, this field has been abandoned for many years, overgrown with weeds, and the soil is very hard. It is really not an easy task to take care of it again. Suwon also went to the field with a sickle, and Su's mother, Su Yun, and Su Yi accompanied her. Building a house at home also requires manpower. The second and third brothers have to help the family, and Su's mother has to go home to make lunch for the workers near noon. After Su Yun was injured, he was well taken care of at home. He didn't work every day, just ate and slept, and his face felt round. Now it is safe, and it is not a problem to do some easy work. In a few days, the farmland was cleared, and the soil was loosened. The soil of several acres of land was hard and needed to be turned over at least 3 times to become soft soil for planting flowers. Suwon was in a hurry, so he hired a few more people in the village to help loosen the soil. It took several days to turn over the soil, 3 times. Then he began to divide the area, planting different flowers in different areas: peonies, jasmine, roses, tulips, camellias, chrysanthemums, gardenias, etc. There were many kinds. There was also Suwon's favorite hibiscus, which grew on trees, and it took 1 or 2 years to grow hibiscus. But the fragrance of hibiscus is really good, and the flowers are beautiful. It must be very popular to use it to extract flour, due to make soap. Tulips are called grass musk here, and roses are called thorny roses. Although they look beautiful, they are rarely planted in the homes of dignitaries because they have thorns and can hurt people. Although they are beautiful, they are far less popular than peonies and peonies. They are not often used for viewing, but are mostly used for bathing and washing hands. After all the seeds were planted, God was very considerate and sent down a spring rain, moistening everything silently. Spring rain is the best, and these seeds will sprout soon. By the time the Su family's new home was fully built, the flower fields on Suwon's side had been completely taken care of. The family had received a letter from the eldest brother Su Jing. He had arrived in Kyoto half a month ago and was about to take the imperial examination. The spring examination was scheduled for the 9th day of the 2nd lunar month, which was mid to late March. The examination was held in the Kyoto Imperial Academy for 7 days. During this period, the students ate and lived in the Imperial Academy. The results of the examination will be announced at the end of April and the beginning of May. The top 30 will enter the Hall of Supreme Harmony for the palace examination, and the emperor will be the chief examiner. The palace examination will be held in early August. The top 3 in the palace examination will be reviewed by the emperor, the cabinet ministers of the current dynasty, and the Ministry of Rights, which is in charge of the imperial examination until the end of September. The imperial examination starts in autumn and ends in autumn, once every 3 years. Su's father asked a carpenter to replace all the furniture in the house with new ones, and even the ground in the yard was paved with bluestone slabs, which was very decent. In the place where livestock are raised, 3 fences were specially built in the corner, one for feeding horses and the other for raising pigs. There is also a fence divided into 2 halves, one for chickens and the other for rabbits. Because of the 3 rooms in the house, the yard of the Su family is much larger, and it is more than enough to make goat milk soap in this yard. The brothers finally don't have to squeeze into one room. Now there are 4 rooms to be allocated. When the eldest brother is not at home, the 4 brothers can each have a room. However, Su Yun and Su Yi still live together. They are the youngest and are not in a hurry to get married, so there is no need for each of them to have a room. But Su Yun wants to live in the new house and doesn't want to live in the old house. Su Chun is more honest, so he took the initiative to propose to live in the old house. So the brothers moved their clothes and things to the new house, and Su Chun was happy and free. I never thought that I would have my own room in the future, with my own independent space, and I don't need to squeeze with my brothers. That feeling is really good. Su Mu was not going to live in the new house either. He took the initiative to exchange rooms with Su Wan, letting Su Wan sleep in the larger new room while he moved to her small house. Su Wan didn't care at first, because it didn't matter where she lived, but Su Mu said that you girls are more particular, and you will definitely buy more and more things for your daughter in the future, so it is more convenient to live in a bigger house. Su Wan knew that although the second brother was not good at speaking, his preference for you was hidden in the details. So, with the help of her brothers, she also moved to the newly built room. There was still one new room left, which was left for the eldest brother. When he was not at home, it could be used as a guest room temporarily. Su Mu put all his books on medical skills at the head of his bed. The few books on medical skills written by the old gentleman taught him a lot of things. He almost never put them down and took them out to read whenever he had time. He had read them many times, and he wanted to remember them all in his mind and put them into practice. The old gentleman said that he would come again this year, but he didn't know when. He had a lot of things he didn't understand and wanted to ask him for advice. After the new house was completed, Su's mother planned to have a banquet and invite the villagers to have a good time. She even asked Su Wan to discuss the shopping list. Our family hasn't had a good time for many years. This time we must have a good time and make the banquet bigger and more decent. Su's mother was beaming with joy. Seeing that the yard at home was so big and beautiful, she was so happy. So this is what it feels like to have money. It's great. For the kitchen team to make the banquet, we will choose the best one in the county. I heard that the banquet they make is delicious and beautiful. When Su Yin talked about food, he knew a lot. He even knew the chef team that made the banquet. Okay, let's do as the 4th child said and invite the kitchen team in the county to come to our house to make a banquet. Also, my father, please go to my mother's home in Qingyuan County and invite my brother's family to have a drink. I haven't seen their uncle for several years. Take this opportunity to have a good reunion. Su's mother married from Qingyuan County, which is very far away. It takes a whole day to walk there, but if there's a carriage, it can go back and forth in one day. Well, I haven't seen Yang Ming and his family for a few years. I don't know if they're doing well now. I will go to Qingyuan County tomorrow. In Su's father's impression, his brother-in-law and his wife had a deep sister-brother relationship in the early years. After not seeing each other for such a long time, they must miss each other. There is a carriage at home, which makes it convenient to go anywhere. The auspicious day for the banquet is 3 days later, and Su's father can directly pick up his uncle and his family. The next day, Su's father harnessed the carriage, but he didn't know how to drive it, so Su Chen accompanied him again. Third brother is really hardworking. He is the one who does all the errands. This family will be broken without him. Su Wan and his mother went to the county to invite a kitchen team that specialized in banquets. This kitchen team needed 5 taels of silver to prepare a banquet. They directly issued a purchase order. The host only needed to tell them how many tables there were, and they would prepare the goods according to the number of tables. After all the things were purchased, they would show the purchase order to the host, and then Su's mother would pay the silver. This banquet cost about 15 taels of silver, which was considered to be very lively and respectable in the village. Su Mu, and the three brothers Su Yun and Su Yi went door to door in the village to borrow tables, chairs, and benches to make preparations. Su's father and his family took his uncle's family over in the evening. His uncle's family had only one daughter, the only cousin that Hong had mentioned before. She was 16 years old and still unmarried. When his aunt gave birth to his cousin, she fell ill and could not get pregnant since then. His uncle wanted to have another child, but there was no news. The Yang family's parents died early, and there were no male offspring in their generation. It was said before that since Su's mother had given birth to so many sons, they wanted her to give the fifth son to their family as a son. But Su's mother was reluctant, so she didn't agree. As a result, the siblings were still angry for several years. Although they reconciled later, their relationship seemed to be far less close than before, and they had less contact. The last reunion was 3 years ago. In the afternoon, Su's mother killed chickens and fish, waiting for her brother and sister-in-law to come. When the carriage stopped at the door of Su's house, Yang Ming was amazed by the blue brick and tile house of his sister's house. It must cost at least 30 or 40 taels of silver to build such a small courtyard. In the morning, when his brother-in-law and nephew drove the carriage, he was caught off guard. After not seeing each other for so long, he was unprepared, and his family didn't even have any decent food to treat him. The Yang family was also poor. At first, they thought that the brother-in-law's carriage was rented, but they didn't expect to find out later that it was specially bought. This time they came to pick them up for a drink. The family built a new house and wanted to hold a housewarming party, so they packed up their things and followed their brother-in-law that day. What Su's mother didn't know was that her brother's family had already had a baby. When they entered the yard, her brother's wife, Wu, was holding a 2-year-old boy. The couple were already over 30 years old, and it was impossible for them to have another child. It would be ridiculous to have a child at this age. Besides, if the child was really a biological child, she, as the elder sister, couldn't have known nothing about it. Sister. The couple shouted in unison as soon as they entered the room. Ah Ming, Juanzi, you are finally here. The room has been cleaned for you, and the food will be ready soon. You must be tired after a day's journey, right? The elder sister was very happy to see her younger brother. She looked at her niece on the side. The niece's name was Yang Qingqing, and she had grown into a beautiful young lady. Qingqing was getting more and more beautiful. She missed her aunt so much. She held Yang Qingqing's hand affectionately. Yang Qingqing also called her aunt sweetly. Su's mother's original name was Yang Xiao. Both of them were very beautiful, so their offspring were very handsome. Yang Qingqing also had a very bright appearance, with thick eyebrows, big eyes, red lips, and white teeth. Su's mother pulled her daughter Su Wan over and let the two cousins get to know her. Presumably on the way, Su's father had already told them about the child's mistake. Before, because her parents' home was far away, Gu Yu and Yang Qingqing had not seen each other very often. The only few times they met, they were unhappy. When they were young, they would quarrel whenever they met. Qingqing, this is your cousin Wanwan. You will sleep with her at night these days. Wanwan, this is your cousin. You have to take your cousin to play, okay?
Shuwan nodded obediently.
Although the two are 2 years apart, she is as tall as Yang Qingqing. Suwan smiled with 2 dimples, which is very contagious. Cousin Qingqing. She greeted her, and Yang Qingqing also called her cousin Wanwan. After that, Su's mother asked Su Wan to call uncle and aunt. Counting it, this was also the first time they met. Uncle and aunt also prepared a gift for meeting, a small red cloth bag. Although there was not much money in it, it was also a little thought. Thank you, uncle and aunt, and wish uncle and aunt good luck. Suwan is very sweet. Children like her are the most liked by the elders. She saw Yang Qingqing was holding a bag with some clothes in it. The two families were so far apart, and since they had finally come here, she would definitely stay for a few days. Cousin Qingqing, I'll take you to the house to put your things, come on. Suwan took her hand and walked to her room. Yang Qingqing saw that Suwan was so easy to get along with, and her first impression of her was not bad. At night, Su's mother slept with her sister-in-law, and Su's father slept in the eldest brother's room with his uncle. Because there is a rule in the countryside. If a couple visits someone else's house and the other party is a new house, they cannot sleep in the same room. Dinner was about to start, so after putting the food on the table, the two sisters went to the main hall to eat. There were chickens, ducks, fish, and meat on the table, which was more sumptuous than the Chinese New Year. Soo-won also made shikima to entertain the guests. The younger brother's family was happy and envious to see that the older sister's family was living so well now. On the contrary, when the fifth brother Soo-ee sat, he was far away from them. When he was a child, his uncle wanted to adopt him as a son, and it was not very pleasant. Fortunately, he was not adopted. Now, seeing him, he still feels a little uncomfortable. During the meal, the aunt took the initiative to introduce the little boy in her arms. "Sister, this is the one Yongming and I adopted from my relatives on my mother's side 2 years ago. We named him Yongqing, which means diligent. We live far from each other, so we haven't had time to tell you about it. Don't be angry." Mother Sue knew that it was her sister-in-law Woo-won who proposed to take the fifth child over. After she refused, Woo-won was angry, and it is estimated that she has not yet calmed down. She thought at the time that the Sue family was so poor that having so many sons was a burden. The two sides were so close, and she would not treat the fifth child badly if she gave him to her, and it would help her relieve the pressure. Why would she be unwilling? But how could a mother be willing to give her own child away? Mother Sue didn't care so much about her. It had been 2 years, and there was no news. Although he was adopted, Yongming only had her as a relative, and he didn't even say hello. Do you think she wouldn't be angry? But now they were sitting face to face. Why bother about so much? Just be friendly. I don't blame you. Come and stay for a few days. It's lively. If you have any difficulties at home, just tell me. Now that I'm doing well, I will definitely help you. Mother Sue still wants to help her family. She only has one brother. I don't say how much help she can give, but she can still help if it's not too much. After hearing what she said, Woo-won and her husband looked at each other and said, "Sister, we really need your help." It's a bit tricky. Hearing that something was going on, Sue's mother and father looked at each other, and the sisters and brothers of the Sue family also pricked up their ears to listen carefully. "Juanzi, what's the matter? Tell me." Woo-won looked at her daughter, a little embarrassed to speak, but still said, "It's like this. Isn't Qingqing old enough to find a husband? She went to the county to sell vegetables some time ago, but was favored by the son of the county magistrate, who insisted that she be a concubine. How could she, a good girl from a good family, be a concubine? People have been sent over there to say that they are losing patience. We don't want her to be a concubine, so we thought about letting her stay with you for a while to avoid the limelight. If my brother-in-law didn't come, we would have to send the child to you for help. The two sides are far apart, and I think the son of the county magistrate can't reach out to me from such a distance. In order to take refuge, I also want to ask my sister to find a good husband for her in Qinghe County and settle the matter. The sooner the better. In short, she can't go back to Qingyuan County for the time being. They are officials, and we can't do anything. Qingyuan is not like Qinghe. You met a good official, but we have a lot of sufferings over there. In every place, the officials are different and the people live differently. In Qingyuan County, it is common to women. Speaking of this, Yang Qingqing's tears kept falling, feeling very aggrieved. The county magistrate's son is so domineering. Why doesn't he go to the prefecture to complain to the governor? Women is a serious crime, and his father will lose his official hat. Soo-won was angry when he heard it. Why is there such a thing over there? Won-won, you don't know that the magistrate of Qingyuan County has a backer. I heard that the magistrate's wife's sister is the wife of a high-ranking official in Xiangzhou Prefecture. Relying on this relationship, he can wear this official hat firmly. You don't know that the magistrate's son already has 7 concubines. One of them was already married, but he still used some tricks to rob her. There are several others who are similar to our Qingqing and are also good girls. He didn't rob them openly, but secretly found someone to suppress them, making you uneasy. Last year's autumn harvest, some families were unwilling to give him their daughters, so he called the local thugs and bullies at night to destroy all the grain in the fields. Without grain, how can we live? He wants to force you to take the initiative to send the girl to him before he is willing to let you go. This treacherous villain has power and influence, and we can't fight him. Yes, I heard that the county magistrate's son was very cruel. If the concubines in the family did not do what he wanted, they would be beaten black and blue. If Qingqing really became his concubine, life would be a real hardship. Yang Ming also had a face full of sorrow and did not know what to do. A good girl cannot be sent to be ruined. It is better to marry a poor family, at least she can live a stable life. Did they do anything to my uncle? My uncle was not injured or lost anything, right? When Suwon heard that the county magistrate's son was acting like this, she was first worried about the safety of her uncle's family. Qingqing has only been favored by him for a short time. He has not done anything to my family now, but I am afraid that it is spring planting time. If he also finds someone to destroy my farmland, how can our family live? Rural people rely on those few acres of land to make a living. Aren't they just cutting off people's livelihoods? It is really lawless. How can people like them be officials? Soo-yun was so angry that he slammed the table. He has a backer, didn't you hear? Su-mu glanced at him indifferently. Yes, Lao Si. It is said that they are all protected by officials, and there is a saying that the people do not fight with the officials, not because they dare not, but because they cannot fight. Su-chin often heard his master say these things, so he could see it more clearly. Sister-in-law, don't worry. Qingqing can stay with us for the time being to avoid the limelight. Qingyuan and Qinghe are so far apart. How can they reach so far? But you said that you want to find a good family for Qingqing, but this can't be rushed. You will live with her for the rest of your life, so you have to make sure she has a good character. Why don't you all stay with us first? After a while, maybe the county magistrate will forget about this matter. Mother Su will definitely help with this. For now, this is the only way, and we should avoid the limelight first. Mother, it's not as simple as you think. What you can't get is always disturbing. This is human nature. The more he can't get, the more he misses her. And as far as I know, when two families marry, they have to take their birth dates to the local government to get documents. Only then can the marriage between the two families be officially concluded. Sister Qingqing's household registration is in Qingyuan County. Even if she wants to marry to Qinghe, she still has to go to Qingyuan government office to get documents. He is thinking about Sister Qingqing, so how can he hide these little things from them? So this matter can't be solved by just finding someone to marry. She has a backer, and it is impossible to complain to the higher authorities. Now she has no choice but to avoid the limelight. However, no matter how absurd the magistrate of Qingyuan County is, he will not indulge his son. If he forcibly seizes a woman with such a big fanfare and arouses public indignation, no matter how powerful his backer is, he will be tarnished with an indelible stigma, and he'll have no hope of promotion in his life. I believe he will not be so stupid, but if my uncle and aunt go back, they will definitely make trouble again if they don't see Sister Qingqing. It's not worth the loss. Just listen to my mother and you all stay in our house for the time being. Hearing what Suwon said, Yang Qingqing cried louder and louder, and her tears could not stop flowing.
She didn't want to be someone's concubine.
Suwon hit the point. Yang Qingqing's matter was really difficult to solve. However, there were still poultry and farmland to take care of at home. My aunt was still thinking about those fields and the chickens and ducks at home. Juanzi, those things are not as important as Qingqing's future. You listen to me, and Ah Ming, take Qingqing and Yang Qin with you, and live in my house steadily. You can get through every difficulty, and you should get over this hurdle first. The Su family had no objection. The uncle and aunt's family were not bad people. Although there were some conflicts in the past, that was in the past. Even teeth and tongues can accidentally fight, let alone people. Before leaving, the uncle had to visit relatives, so he asked the neighbors next door to help take care of the poultry. When the time comes, Sue's father will just have to make another trip. Let's get over this difficulty first. The Su family didn't have much ability and couldn't fight the official. All they could do was to temporarily take in the uncle and aunt's family. Anyway, the family doesn't need a few mouths to feed now. Sue's mother values feelings, so how could she just leave it alone? After a lot of effort, they finally persuaded the aunt to stay. The two families were together, and there was no end to what they wanted to say. At night, after washing up, Suwon took Yang Qingqing back to her room to rest, and the two sisters gradually became close. Suwon took out the pearl flowers that her third brother won for him during the Lantern Festival and showed them to Yang Qingqing. Yang Qingqing's eyes lit up when she saw so many beautiful pearl flowers. What girl doesn't love beauty? What's more, Yang Qingqing lives in the countryside, and the only decorations she has are just some headbands or silk flowers, which are not very good-looking. Wan, these are so beautiful. If cousin likes, she can choose a few to wear. Suwon can't wear so many anyway. Is it really okay? Yang Qingqing was a little unbelievable. Suwon nodded. Of course it's okay. Yang Qingqing smiled happily, but she only chose two and didn't ask for more. Seeing that there was also a hibiscus purple jade hairpin in the box, which was very exquisite, Yang Qingqing couldn't help but pick it up to look at it. This one is also very beautiful. It must be very expensive, right? When Suwon saw the hairpin, Zhang Yu's face appeared in her mind involuntarily, looking at her with a half-smile. Very bewitching. She subconsciously took the hairpin from Yang Qingqing's hand and put it in the box. Well, this is a gift from a very important friend. Yang Qingqing also saw that she didn't really want to show her the hairpin, but she wasn't angry either. It was very good that cousin Wan was willing to give her the pearl flower. Lying on the bed, Yang Qingqing still couldn't sleep, not because of the change of place, but because she felt depressed and uncomfortable thinking about the county magistrate's son. After finally falling asleep, she had a nightmare. She dreamed that the county magistrate's son took her back to his mansion and beat her every day, which scared her awake. She woke up suddenly and sat up, and Suwon was also woken up by her. Hearing her crying softly, Suwon understood what she was afraid of, but she could only comfort her. Cousin, don't be afraid. We are far away from your home. He can't find you. Don't worry. He won't let you marry him. Go to sleep quickly. Yang Qingqing lay down again. Suwon thought that since she was awake, she would chat with her. They talked about random things. Suwon also told her some stories from the storybooks. She was gradually distracted and listened with great interest. Suwon told her the love story of Chang'e and Hou-yi. By the time the sky was slightly bright, Suwon was already very sleepy, but Yang Qingqing was still very energetic. Cousin, go to sleep quickly. I'm really sleepy. Before she finished speaking, Suwon had closed her eyes and fell into a deep sleep. Not long after, Yang Qingqing also fell asleep. Suwon had a biological clock and woke up after sleeping for an hour and a half. When she woke up, Yang Qingqing was sleeping soundly. He didn't dare to wake her up and tiptoed out of the room. The family had already had breakfast. Suwon rarely slept in, so he got up late today. When her aunt saw that she had gotten up, but her daughter hadn't, she felt that it was unruly and was going to call her. Qingqing, why hasn't she gotten up yet? This child is usually not lazy. I'll go and call her. She is so unruly outside. Aunt, don't go. My cousin finally got a little more sleep. She was scared and couldn't sleep all night. I stayed with her for half a night, and she finally fell asleep. Let her sleep a little longer. Suwon called her aunt, and her eyes turned red when she said this. What should I do? I couldn't sleep all night because of this. What if the county magistrate really comes? No, it's so far away. He can't come whenever he wants. If he dares to come, we will go to our county magistrate and have a good talk. The county magistrate of Qinghe County will always give us justice. Sue's mother hurried to comfort her. It can be seen that the county magistrate of Qinghe County is a very good parent official in the eyes of the people of Qinghe County. Yang Qingqing slept until almost noon, and she had a good rest. Her complexion looked better. At this time of year, many wild camellias bloomed on the hillside. From a distance, they looked white. Suwon took her up the mountain to pick camellias. When they passed by the hunter Zhang's house, they saw that his peach blossoms had bloomed, but most of them were still in bud. Suwon had an idea in mind. After a while, when the peach blossoms were fully bloomed, she would go to his house to pick peach blossoms and extract the flower dew. The Yang family already knew that the Su family made their fortune by making soap, but they didn't ask much about it. They were well educated and not annoying. Suwon took Yang Qingqing up the mountain to relax her and divert her attention. Tomorrow morning, the county's kitchen team will go to the countryside to prepare a banquet at the Su family, and the Su family will be very lively. Su Jing followed the caravan for more than half a month and finally arrived in Kyoto. When he saw the gate of Kyoto, he was shocked by the magnificent momentum here. The traffic here is strictly checked. On the towering towers, many soldiers from the city guard camp take turns patrolling and standing guard to protect the safety of the capital. The city is bustling with traffic and wealth, which is many times more prosperous than Xiangzhou Prefecture. The people living in Kyoto, even the most ordinary people, are well-dressed and elegant. According to the address Jiang Yu gave him, he found the private house he mentioned. This house is in the prosperous area of Kyoto. It only takes a cup of tea to get to Gongyuan. Walking into this alley, he found that there were some wealthy families on both sides. The door was very decent. Almost every household had two big stone lions standing at the door. And this stone road called an alley is much wider than the streets in Qinghe County. Jiang Yu's yard is not big. Although it has two entrances, the scenery inside is very elegant. Everywhere you look, there are rockery and flowing water, pavilions and towers. There is also a small fish pond in the middle, with a pool of lotus. Under the lotus leaves are several very precious koi. There are many flowers and plants in the backyard, which are very beautiful. As Jiang Yu said, there is only an old servant who is over 60 years old in the yard. It is said that he is a young man surnamed Su, who came to Kyoto to take the exam and wants to stay here. The news has been received long ago. To entertain the distinguished guest well, the old servant has been waiting for a long time. After Su Jing settled down, the first thing he did was to write a letter to his family to report his safety. Suwon picked several baskets of camellia flowers on the mountain. The fragrance of camellia flowers is very pleasant. Girls with this fragrance on their bodies smell very high-end. Camellia can be used with goat milk, and the smell will not become strange. Instead, it will be more pleasant after neutralization. After returning, half of these petals are used to distill and extract flower dew, and the other half are used to soak flower oil. Yang Qingqing followed Suwon on the mountain, talking and laughing, enjoying the scenery, and seemed to be in a much better mood. When she was picking camellia flowers, she found a very strange plant on the ground. A short tree with long, pointed, green fruits on it, and the skin was shining in the sun. Wanwan, come and take a look. What is this? It looks so strange. Can it be eaten? Suwon heard Yang Qingqing calling him, so he walked towards her. What's wrong? Wanwan, look at these wild fruits. They look so strange. I don't know if they can be eaten. Yang Qingqing pointed at the wild fruit on the ground, and Suwon's eyes lit up. This is a treasure. Chili pepper. Suwon looked at the peppers in surprise and said,
Wanwan, do you know this thing?
Yang Qingqing didn't know what this was, but Suwon knew it. Well, this is used when cooking. It's very delicious. You may not have tried it yet, but people who like to eat it will like it very much. Suwon explained to her briefly that spicy food was not popular in Jinghua, so there were no people who planted peppers, and they didn't know that peppers could be used for cooking. These wild green and red peppers can be collected and taken back, and the seeds inside can be kept to grow peppers. If this resource is mastered, it will be a great help for the fourth brother to open a restaurant in the future. Let's pick all of these back. But Suwon didn't have any extra space to put the peppers, but he didn't want to squeeze the flowers, so the two of them only picked apart. They can only go up the mountain again later and pick all the peppers back. When he returned home, Suwon showed the green and red peppers he found to Su Yun as soon as possible. Fourth brother, I found something good. What good thing? Let me see what's going on. Su Yun was studying his sauce and preparing to make another jar. When he heard Suwon say that there was something good, he instantly got excited. He walked over and saw that Suwon had put a bunch of unfamiliar fruits on the table, some red, some green, and long and pointed. What is this? Chili peppers. They are so delicious when stir-fried. You must like them. When Suwon mentioned stir-fried, Su Yun's eyes suddenly lit up. It's edible, right? He picked up a red pepper directly, rubbed it on his body, and then took a bite. Suwon saw through his intention and hurriedly stopped him. Fourth brother, don't. But it was too late. Soo-yun was already chewing. When the spicy taste came up, Soo-yun instantly felt like a volcano erupted in his heart, and his face turned red at a speed visible to the eye. What is this, Suwon? Are you teasing me? He kept fanning his mouth with his hands. Suwon laughed unkindly, the kind of laughter. Haha, fourth brother. Tasting everything will only hurt you. I quickly poured water for Soo-yun, and he drank several glasses in one breath. Everyone in the Soo family came to join in the fun. Seeing Soo-yun so spicy, everyone laughed unkindly. Fortunately, he only took a small bite and stopped after drinking a few glasses of water, but his tears came out. Even people who can eat spicy food can't stand eating peppers raw. Suwon, what is this? Soo-yun felt that he trusted her too much, so he ate it without hesitation. Peppers, this has to be fried before eating. How can you eat it directly? What's the hurry? I haven't finished talking. Suwon didn't do it on purpose. He just stuffed it into his mouth without listening to others finish talking. At this time, the second brother Soo-moo came over, picked up a red pepper and looked at it, and then smelled it. It is recorded in the book that this thing can remove dampness and cold, and it is non-toxic, but it does not say that it can be used for cooking. This is recorded in the old gentleman's book called Spicy Fruit because after eating it, it is spicy and spicy. In this era, there is a term spicy, but it is generally used to describe strong liquor. Chili peppers can be used as medicine and for cooking. People who love spicy food like it very much, but people who don't like it can't accept it.
Suwon explained.
Then, I definitely don't like it. Soo-yun's aftereffects haven't passed yet, and he made a conclusion directly. Fourth brother, don't rush to say you don't like it, try it after it's cooked. Who would like it if it's eaten raw? She loves spicy food so much, she can't accept eating it raw. Since Wanwan said it's delicious, it must be delicious. Let's try it in the evening. Soo-chun is very supportive. He is now Soo-won's #1 supporter. Hearing this, Soo-won cast a bright smile at the third brother. I'll show you my skills in the evening. There are still many on the mountain. If you are free, fourth brother, come with me to pick it. This cooking is really amazing. When you open a restaurant in the future, it will be a unique cuisine that no other restaurant has. At that time, we will leave the seeds and use them for planting. Soo-won is still thinking about the piece of pepper on the mountain, and he has to pick it back to feel at ease. Soo-yun was fine, so he nodded and agreed to go with Soo-won. Besides, Soo-won had said so, and it was his restaurant, so how could he not participate? He was the first to rush forward, fearless. Wanwan, I'll go too. Soo-yi smiled at her, his eyes curved. Good, so the three siblings went back up the mountain, and Soo's mother washed all the camellia flowers that Soo-won brought back at home, because she said she would use them to make soap. If you use something on your body, it must be clean. Aunt and Yang Ching-ching were not idle either, and helped her wash together. The red and green peppers on the mountain weighed about 70 to 80 kilograms. The red peppers can be dried and then ground into pepper powder for storage. Keep some for seeds, and keep the green peppers for frying fresh ones, or make chopped peppers. In the evening, Soo-won used green and red peppers to stir-fry peppers with meat. It was a classic dish, paired with Soo-yun's soy sauce coloring and the pork belly with less fat and more lean meat, which was very delicious. It can also be used to make stir-fried chicken, and other meats are also fine. See how it is prepared. When the dish was served, no one dared to move their chopsticks. After all, they had never tried it, but it smelled really good. Soo-yun, who had suffered a loss in the afternoon, swallowed his saliva. The taste made him a little afraid to start. Soo-won took the lead and mixed it with the rice. The color looked delicious. Then Soo-chun, who was supporting him, followed and ate it, and Soo-moo. He knew that this thing was not poisonous and had medicinal value. There was nothing wrong with eating it. But after eating, both of them showed a surprised expression. After the peppers were fried, they seemed not so spicy, but they greatly improved the taste of the dishes. And this hint of spiciness is the most classic, which makes people hungry. Soo-moo laughed and took a big mouthful of rice. The taste was very suitable for his appetite. Dad, Mom, Uncle, and Aunt, you guys try it quickly, it's really good. Several elders began to pick up their chopsticks one after another. It was the first time to eat such a fresh method. The color was different from the dishes they usually cooked. The most surprised ones were the uncle and aunt, because the taste of this dish was really delicious, with a rich taste, which made the bland mouth find that indescribable feeling all of a sudden. In short, it was delicious. Seeing that everyone was fine, Soo-yun also started to eat. After taking a bite, his eyes lit up again. It has changed, it has really changed, it has become delicious. How is it, fourth brother? I didn't lie to you. Soo-won looked at him proudly and asked. Soo-yun took a few more chopsticks of chili fried meat, put them in the bowl, and mixed them. He imitated Soo-won and ate a few bites, as if he had found a new world. Indeed, if this chili is used to cook, it will be a unique classic and can create a brand new cuisine. That is the unique cuisine that he has always longed for. Soo-won, can this really be grown? Of course, as long as the seeds in the chili can be processed, it can be grown, and it can also be made into chili noodles and chopped peppers. The taste of the fried peppers is different. I will teach you when the time comes. Soo-won used the knowledge he learned in modern times to help his brothers at home as much as possible. Okay, let's try to grow a piece and see. When I come back from Uman-shi-lu, we will open the restaurant. Soo-yun is full of fighting spirit now. The Yang family members listened and felt strange. Why did the Soo family want to open a restaurant? Is the family so rich? Uncle, when the time comes, you can come and work for me, and I will give you a monthly salary. Soo-yun directly painted a big cake for his uncle. They are such a family, so they must help. Soo-yun is kind and also considers his uncle's family. Yang Ming was a little flattered, but what's wrong with his nephew giving him work? It's better to work for his family than to face other people's contempt. He didn't covet his sister to help him more, but just asked them to be rich and give him a meal, just like Soo-yun said. That's fine. Uncle will do his best when the time comes. Soo's mother and father looked at each other and smiled with relief. In the evening, Soo-won selected half of the camellia petals. He had bought 50 kilograms of almond oil before and soaked them all, making a unified camellia-soaked oil. Soak for 7 days, then change to fresh petals and continue soaking them. Repeat this 3 times, and you will get a batch of almond oil full of camellia fragrance. Now is the time when wild camellia flowers are blooming all over the mountains. Make more of them. This kind of floral-scented goat milk soap can be sold at a high price. After the peach blossoms bloom, dry them and grind them into powder, which is the most natural dye. Then extract the flower due to make hair soap, which is perfect. But there are no soap berries at this time of year, and you have to find a way to collect them outside. I am afraid there is no other way to sell them except in the pharmacy. When the time comes, ask my second brother to ask the pharmacy if he can take out some of the stored soap berries. I didn't think of collecting more last year, and they all rotted in the mountains and couldn't be used. I have to stock up more this fall. The next morning, the kitchen team arrived at the Soo family with the ingredients they prepared, such as chickens, ducks, fish, and meat. Soo's father also bought 2 sheep from the village's sheep herders. They were slaughtered early in the morning. The kitchen team killed and chopped the chickens, ducks, and fish. The neighbors in the village all came to join in the fun. Soo-won made shikima to entertain them. Soo's mother bought a lot of melon seeds. Everyone sat in the yard and ate melon seeds and chatted. It was so lively. Because the kitchen team was specially hired, there was not much to help with. Just help to set the table, put the bowls and chopsticks, and serve the dishes. Soo-moo was specifically responsible for recording favors. When others came to have a drink, how much favor they gave, some were tens of coins, some were dozens of coins, and they were all recorded in the book one by one, and they would be returned in the future. Everyone in the village came, except the He family. The banquet was large, and it was basically meat. The Soo family held a very decent housewarming banquet. It had been a long time since anyone in the surrounding area had been so generous. After the banquet, the kitchen team was paid, and some of the ants in the village helped to clean the table, bowls and chopsticks, and sweep the floor. The brothers in the family went from house to house to return the borrowed tables, chairs, and benches. At this time, Fomying came over and brought gifts. Except for Su Chen, no one else in the Su family knew him. Seeing him coming, everyone stared at each other. "Young master, who are you looking for?" Su's mother was in the yard and found him first, so she asked him, "Madam Su, I am here to deliver a gift on behalf of my young master. I congratulate Madam Su on the completion of her new house and the congratulations on moving into a new house." Fengming held a large box and bowed slightly to Su's mother. Su Chen recognized Fengming, but chose to be dumb and pretended not to know him. "Who is your young master?" Su Wan now has a shadow when she hears the word young master. The young masters who have come here recently are not good people. "Miss Su, my young master's surname is Jiang. He heard that your new house was completed, so he asked me to come and deliver a gift." Fengming explained while opening the wooden box. There was a very good and transparent white jade guanyin statue inside, which was lifelike and worth a lot of money. "The surname Jiang, isn't it Jiang Yu? I only know this one with the surname Jiang, and he is also very rich. How did he know that my new house was built?" Su Wan asked a question from the bottom of his soul, which made Fengming's mouth twitch, and he didn't know how to answer. Although my master is not in Qinghe County, he has always been thinking about you. I happened to be ordered by the master to come to Qinghe County to do business, and I learned about this matter. I sent a pigeon to the master, and he asked me to choose a suitable gift and send it to your house to congratulate and express his heart. Fengming is quite smart and immediately found an excuse. Su Wan said meaningfully, then nodded. "Since it is a gift, there is nothing wrong with accepting it, so just accept it. It's thoughtful. Mother, please invite Goddess Guanyin in quickly." Su Wan winked at Su's mother, and she still used honorifics when facing the statue of Guanyin. This object can be used to protect the house. It is a symbol of auspiciousness. It must be well worshipped and suitable for its family and descendants. Seeing that her daughter had accepted it, Su's mother had nothing to refuse. She liked the statue of Guanyin very much and was thinking about asking a carpenter to make a cabinet for worship. She placed the jade Guanyin on the incense table in the main hall and bowed very devoutly. "Goddess Guanyin, please forgive me. My humble home is simple, and I have to ask you to stay here for a few days." In the yard, Su Wan was complaining in her heart. "This man kept saying noble mansion, but I don't know why this yard is so expensive, and how does it look like a mansion? This statue of Guanyin alone is worth the price of a big house. It seems that I have to change a bigger door lock. After all, it is the most valuable item in this yard." Although Jiang Yu is not here, he has been involved in the affairs of the Su family and has a strong sense of presence. "Please take a seat, distinguished guest. Since you are here to give gifts, please stay and have a drink before leaving." Su's father politely invited Fengming to stay for dinner, but Fengming refused. "The gift has been delivered. I still have things to deal with, so I won't bother you anymore." Since he didn't want to stay, the Su family didn't try to persuade him to stay. Su Wan sent him to the door, and Fengming clasped his fists at her. "Miss Su, please stay. I'll send you here." Su Wan nodded. Thinking of Jiang Yu, her heart couldn't help but beat fast. She could always remember that ordinary afternoon, Jiang Yu's words, "From now on, I will also be your backer." It was so gentle and affectionate. Until now, she could still remember his affectionate peach blossom eyes, which were lingering. "By the way, please ask your son for me. Just say, 'See you later'?" She asked the question in a questioning tone, and it was all in these 4 words. Fengming almost smiled like an ant when she heard it. It seems that his son is not unrequited love. It turns out that Miss Su is also thinking about him. If the son knew, he would be so happy. "Okay, Miss Su, I will definitely bring her." He tried hard to suppress the corners of his mouth and not break his cold personality. A major event in the Su family has been completed recently, and the next step is to get busy with business matters. The seeds of the 3 acres of flower fields have been planted one after another, and the areas have been divided. There is a river next to it, which is very convenient for watering. Now they are hiring someone to build a bamboo shed and plan to plant roses and roses in the corner of the shed. Su Wan will raise bees in the shed, use honey to make beauty cream, and use bee embryos to make beeswax. maximize the various uses of flowers. Because peppers were found, 1 acre of land originally used for vegetable planting was divided out to plant peppers, 2 varieties, 1 red pepper and 1 green pepper. Pepper seeds are easy to handle. First, dry them in the sun for a few days. After they are dry, spread them in moist soil and wait for them to germinate and grow pepper seedlings. When they reach a certain height, pull out the pepper seedlings by the roots and plant them separately. Each pepper plant should be separated by a certain distance, water and fertilize regularly, and the temperature is most suitable for planting at around 18 to 20 degrees. When the pepper seedlings grow out, the weather is almost at this temperature. There are many trivial matters at home. The second and fourth brothers are not in a hurry to go out, but help Soo-won to plant flowers and peppers, and then make soap. By the time the flower fields and peppers were completely done, it was already the end of March. At this time, the eldest brother had entered the Imperial Examination Hall, and the spring examination was in progress. Jeongyu's private residence has a very elegant name, Hibiscus Cottage, simply because there are 2 hibiscus trees planted in the backyard, hence the name. Soo Jing called the old servant who took care of Farong Cottage Yuanbua. It was the end of March in Kyoto, and the spring was chilly. The ice and snow did not melt until the end of February. It was still cold and damp at this time. The Imperial Examination Hall was damp, and it took 7 days to enter. Yuanbua thoughtfully prepared knee pads and fox fur for him to prevent him from catching a cold while writing in the Imperial Examination Hall, which would delay the exam, which would not be worth the loss. Soo-mu had to go back to Jishan Hall to work because his father and mother, Soo-chun and Soo-yi, were at home, and now his uncle and aunt were helping him. At the beginning of the year, because the family had to build a house and hold a banquet, and then help Soo-won with this and that, it had been delayed for 2 months. It was time to go back. And Soo-yun was also going to work as a cook in Umengsi Tower in Xiangzhou Prefecture. He had to see the world, learn more, and watch the chefs cook, and then integrated himself. He would be there for at least half a year. Sue's mother prepared clothes and silver for him, and made new shoes, and asked his third brother Soo-chun to drive him to Xiangzhou Prefecture. When leaving, Soo-yun promised Soo-won solemnly, "Soo-won, wait for me to come back after finishing my studies. I will definitely give you a surprise." Soo-won waved his hand and said with a smile, "Okay, I will wait for your surprise, but I hope it is not a shock." The second brother, Soo-mu, went with him. A few days ago, Soo-won had already made a batch of soaps and was drying them. After drying, they will be packaged and sent to the county. The ordinary white goat milk soap, which earns 12 cents per piece, made 150 pieces. The dyed goat milk soap, the round printed one, also made 150 pieces. The camellia-scented goat milk soap made 100 pieces. This is a new product. If it is sold in a grocery store, it will be 25 cents per piece, and she will earn 20 cents in interest. This batch of camellia-soaked oil can make 500 pieces of camellia soap. There is not much camellia pure dew extracted. It is all essence, and only 3 small bamboo buckets have been saved. When the second brother sends the soapberry back, these pure dews should only be enough to make about 80 pieces of bath and hair soap. As soon as the lid of the camellia pure dew was opened, the rich floral fragrance wafted out. The hair soap made instead of spices will definitely be more popular. After washing your hair, your head will be full of the scent of camellia. Now, there is a huge demand for almond oil to make soap. When the time comes, talk to the grain and oil shop and ask them to send almond oil in large quantities on a regular basis. When making soap a few days ago, Soo-won was careful and did not let her uncle and others see the specific part. When she asked someone to do it, she would only let them touch the final packaging part. The core part is a core secret, which is related to the formula of goat milk soap and cannot be leaked. She would rather do it herself. The most important thing is that Soo-won has not had much contact with her uncle's family, so she is still not very reassured. After this batch of soap is delivered, Soo-won will set her sights. When the time comes, talk to the. At that time, she will make a batch of soaps of various styles. Just like before, she will find an agent to sell them on her behalf. Slowly build up the reputation of goat milk soap in Xiangzhou Prefecture, and gradually spread to all the counties in Xiangzhou Prefecture to receive orders. After there are more orders, She will set up a workshop for batch production and deliver them completely according to orders. When her reputation is fully established, she will stop being an agent and develop physical stores, produce and sell by herself, and occupy the market alone. Finding an agent in the early stage is a way of promotion. You don't have to shout by yourself. If you want to build a reputation, it will be faster, but you will earn a few cents less for each soap. In half a year at most, she can open a physical store by herself. In addition to taking care of the flower fields, Jiang Sheng and his wife will come to the Su family to help when they are free. When the market opens up, slowly, there will be more and more soaps to be made, which will require a lot of manpower. The flower fields do not need to be guarded 24 hours a day, just water and regularly. When they are free, they can come to the workshop to do packaging, which is worth the 3 taels of silver a month. Suwon plans to hire someone to build another yard next to the Su family's yard as a workshop, which is specially used to make goat milk soap and dry goat milk soap. The raw materials for making goat milk soap are also stored here so that it will not take up space in the Su family's yard.
They do it as soon as they say it.
There is a large vegetable field in front of the Su family's small yard, but the vegetables grown in it are all from the villagers in the village. Several families have planted vegetables on it, but if they want to build a workshop, this is the most suitable place. It is close to home, so everything is easy to manage. However, if they want to requisition other people's vegetable fields, money is secondary, but they are afraid that they will not be willing. Moreover, among these families, there are some families that are not easy to talk to. Grandma Lu is very fierce. She has no rivals in scolding Yengao. Any guest is no match for her when she quarrels. Grandma Lu is over 60 years old. Her 2 sons have separated and lived separately. She lives alone and usually grows some vegetables to support herself. Usually, if someone's chicken accidentally eats her vegetables, she can scold in the village for a whole day. Even if no one provokes her, she will still curse. But if she is told about the vegetable field this time, I don't know if she'll be driven out. As for the other families, they heard that the Su family gave money and agreed very readily. It's just that Grandma Lu is really difficult to deal with. The main thing is that her 2 sons don't care about her much, and the vegetable field is really difficult to deal with. The 3 families gave them silver according to the area, 2 families gave 5 taels, and 1 family gave 3 taels. This vegetable field is not more valuable than a field. Grandma Lu's family has the largest area, and her land must be requisitioned. If these vegetable fields are taken, they can build a workshop of nearly 200 square meters, which is enough. With silver in hand, just do it, no shortage of money. Suwon discussed with Su's father and mother, and finally decided that Su's mother would go and talk to her herself. Su's mother has a good reputation in the village, and she has no grudges with Grandma Lu. If she goes, she should be able to have a say. The peach blossoms in Uncle Zhang's house have also bloomed completely. Suwon can see how gorgeous the peach blossoms are blooming through the courtyard wall. Suwon wants to extract peach blossom pure water, and also wants to dry the peach blossoms and grind them into powder for dyeing. She knows that Uncle Jiang is no longer in Yangao at this time, and the peach blossoms will be left there without anyone to appreciate them, so it is better to give them to her. So Suwon set her sights on her 3rd brother Suchen. Suchen stayed alone in the room today, cleaning the sword his master had left him. Halfway through, he heard someone knocking on the door, so he quickly put the sword away.
Who is it?
Suchen asked. 3rd brother, it's me. When Suchen heard it was Suwon, he immediately opened the door and let her in. What's wrong, Wanwan? Is there something wrong? 3rd brother, I want to ask you a favor. Suwon put her hands behind her back and smiled. She looked so well behaved that Suchen wanted to reach out and pinch her face. What's the matter? Tell me, is it another errand job? Suchen crossed his arms and couldn't help but laugh and joke. Every time I look for him, it's to run errands. He has been running so many times that he is used to it. Suwon scratched his head embarrassedly. It is somewhat related to running errands, but not much. Oh, then tell me, what's the matter? Suchen found her description quite interesting. That is, the peach blossoms at the Hunter Zhang's house are in bloom. I see that you have a good relationship with him. Can you talk to him and let me go to his house to pick peach blossoms? Soo-won directly stated her purpose. She didn't say much, just said yes. It seems that they have a good relationship. Speaking of Uncle Jeong, Soo-chen's heart skipped a beat. Now the key to his yard is in his hand, and he can go pick flowers anytime he wants. In fact, he didn't know whether to tell Won-won this secret. In his opinion, Soo-won is trustworthy. He had a mental struggle in his heart. He felt that with Soo-won's intelligence, it would be difficult to hide this matter. So, he just told her. His little sister is so considerate, she will definitely not tell anyone. So, Soo-chan pulled Soo-won to sit down at the table, and then closed the door. Seeing her so mysterious, Soo-won wanted to laugh. She knew that the third brother was going to expose his best with her. Then she had to pretend to be very surprised. It was time to test her acting skills. Won-won, the third brother will tell you a secret, but you have to promise the third brother that you must not tell anyone else. Soo-won nodded and made a swearing gesture. Okay, I promise not to tell anyone else. After Soo-chan sat down, he looked at Soo-won seriously and said, in fact, Uncle Jeong and I are master and apprentice. Over the years, he has been secretly teaching me martial arts and not letting me pass it on. This time, Master left Xiangzhou for something, and he left me the key to the front door of his house, so you can pick the flowers in the yard at will. Soo-won waited for him to finish, then immediately widened his eyes, covered his mouth with both hands, and pretended to be very shocked. Oh my god, third brother. You are actually the apprentice of Jeong Hunter. Is his martial arts very good? Third brother, can you fly?
Ah.
I don't know why, Soo-chan always feels a little fake when looking at his sister's praise expression and reaction. But, so cute, big and bright eyes. He blushed and nodded. Well, flying over the eaves and walls is still no problem, but flying all the time is not okay. Wouldn't it be a god? The third brother actually answered her question seriously, so cute that Soo-won's girlish heart was aroused by him. The two siblings were moved by each other and were conquering each other. They were indeed siblings. Third brother is so amazing. Soo-won looked like a fangirl, but this was not fake. Let's go. Third brother will take you to pick flowers. Soo-chan took out a key from his body and shook it in front of Soo-won. So the two siblings each carried a basket and went straight to Uncle Jeong's yard without telling their family. Peach blossoms are in danger. Opening the door of Uncle Jeong's yard, I saw the yard full of fallen flowers. Some peach petals were blown by the wind and flew all over the sky. The crabapple flowers planted under the tree were all in bloom, as well as the beautiful white magnolia. It felt like entering a fairyland. Soo-won couldn't help but sighed. It's so beautiful, right? It's all yours. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt the roots. Soo-chan didn't have much feeling for these flowers and plants, so what he said was also very straight. Third brother, show me a light skill to climb a tree. Soo-won pointed at the peach tree and said to Soo-chan. Soo-chan performed as he said. He tapped the ground with his toes and flew onto the branch of the peach tree. Third brother is awesome. Soo-won clapped under the tree. It was the first time she saw Qinggong with her own eyes. It was so light. Jeong, you must be able to do it, right? He is also a martial arts master. Just thinking about it, Soo-won shook her head vigorously. She must be sick, otherwise she would think of Jeongyu. But to be honest, I don't know what happened to that guy now. Won-won, wait down there. Third brother will pick it for you. Go see if you can pick other flowers. Soo-chan shouted from above. Soo-won looked up at him against the sunlight. The sunlight was dazzling. The girl raised her hand to block it and responded to him obediently. Okay. The crabapple blossoms in the courtyard were so beautiful. All of them were precious varieties, and Soo-won suddenly didn't want to destroy them. Soo-chan picked 2 full baskets of peach blossoms for Soo-won, but Soo-won didn't touch the crabapples in the courtyard, but let them continue to bloom. The 2 peach trees that were originally full of peach blossoms were swept by Soo-chan, and now they look sparse, just like the ones that have been retouched and returned to reality, with a big difference. If Jeong Eunha himself was there, I'm afraid he would perform a pinch on the Renjong on the spot. Won-won, is that enough? Soo-chan jumped down from the tree. Enough, Half of it is dried flowers, and the other half is extracted from pure water. Suwon thought, let's leave some flowers on the peach tree. It's too ugly to be bare. When the brother and sister returned home, Sue's mother had already returned. It seemed that she was driven back by Grandma Lu. Otherwise, why would Sue's mother have such a look of despair? She was also very angry, and her aunt comforted her on the side, telling her not to get angry with the old lady. This old lady Lu is so unreasonable. I tried to talk to her nicely, but she scolded me for destroying her livelihood. It's not like our family doesn't give her money. Why is she so stubborn? If I leave a little later, she might hit me with a broom. As soon as Suwon entered the door, she heard Sue's mother complaining. Her face turned red with anger. Sue's father was on the side, and he didn't know what to say. He was a grown man. He couldn't just go to the old lady to reason. Mother, what's wrong? Grandma Lu won't agree? Suwon and Suchin put the peach blossoms under the eaves. She had guessed it. Talking to unreasonable old people is the most tiring. Yes, your mother, I was scolded by her. Sue's mother complained to her daughter aggrievedly. She also said that it was easy for her to give up the land. She would give it for 20 taels of silver. Then how could she be given 20 taels of silver? An acre of field is only worth 20 taels, and it can produce more than 100 kilograms of grain a year. Her vegetable field is not made of gold, and it is only half an acre. She really dares to ask for it. When the aunt heard it, she thought it was unreasonable. How could she ask for such a high price? Suwon thought about it. Since it doesn't work here, the workshop can't be built. But the small courtyard of the Su family is really not enough. It is impossible to give her 20 taels of silver. Our silver is not blown by the wind. Although 20 taels is nothing to Suwon now, she will not be a sucker. In fact, we have another person to find. Suddenly, Sue's father interrupted. Who is it? Suwon asked, and everyone looked at him. Village chief he. Father Su mentioned a name. Village chief he. Since that incident, I have never dealt with him again, and I have never had any contact with him. When we meet in the village, we don't say hello to each other. You can't be interested in his 1 acre of land. Mother Su couldn't believe it. The more than 1 acre of vegetable land of the He family is not far from the Su family. The Su family can see it at a glance when standing at the gate. It's only a few steps away. If the front door doesn't work, then the He family is really the only one. The Su family's vegetable land is next to his, but peppers have been planted. This good thing can't be dug up. The 4th brother will be heartbroken. He also said that he would come back to see it in a while. After planting peppers, there will be half an acre of land left, which is not enough. The Su family actually has a few plots of land, but they are far away and on the hillside. They can't be used to grow corn, sweet potatoes, etc. There is no choice except their own land. If the daughter wants to use it for real work, she has to say it even if she doesn't want to deal with it. Father Su is still clear-headed in major matters and would not lose face because of that little grudge. Mother Su felt that what he said made sense. Suwon wanted to buy land to build a workshop to earn money, so how could he be careless? Dad and Mom, if it really doesn't work, just find another way, don't force it. Suwon didn't want to embarrass her parents. If it really doesn't work, she would move the workshop to the county. Anyway, she would have to go to the county sooner or later. It's just that the house at home has just been built, and she hasn't lived in it for a few days. She can't bear to leave for the time being, or she can make do with it in the yard. When all the sales channels in Xiangzhou Prefecture are opened up, they will move out sooner or later. She doesn't want her parents to suffer this grievance. It's okay, your father will talk to you. It's just a matter of losing face. Mother Su is open-minded. Anyway, it's not her who will go, but her husband. In fact, Suwon's workshop is just a casual build with a place to dry clothes. It really can't be built, so she won't force it. Well, since we have cut off ties with the He family, there is no need to have anything to do with them anymore. As for Grandma Lu, I have an idea. Her land is only a little over half an acre. We can exchange it with her using the remaining half an acre of land at home and give her an extra 2 taels of silver as compensation. That should be fine, right? Besides, Our land is close to the river, so it is very convenient. Suwon's mind was quick, and she thought of a solution in an instant. She didn't need her father to lose face and talk to the He family, nor did she offend Grandma Lu, and she could still achieve her goal. She saw that Grandma Lu would be greedy for a little advantage, so she would definitely agree. The main reason was that Grandma Lu's son didn't care much about her, so it was reasonable for her to refuse to give up the land. It would take some time to plant the vegetables again. During this period, there would be no vegetables to eat, so she would be compensated with 2 taels of silver to fill the gap. But the other families were different. They had a lot of labor in their family, so many barren hills and fields could be replanted. It was just the beginning of spring, and there were no vegetables planted in the fields. They took the silver as a reward for their hard work in the past. The vegetables in the fields didn't want theirs. Everyone discussed and negotiated, and they all got a bargain. Why not? This is also a good idea. Sue's mother slapped her thigh, thinking that Suwon's idea was really good. Hey, it's my daughter, smart. Sue's father gave Suwon a thumbs up. 2 taels of silver is not much, but it can make Grandma Lu, who likes to take advantage of small things, give up the land in front of her house, save time, and build a temporary workshop as soon as possible. Suwon also needs to select virtuous people for the office. In the future, there must be a manager in the workshop. If she wants to do big things, she can't just stay in the workshop every day. She has to choose a few trustworthy people to be the manager. Suwon's first choice is her uncle. First, he is the closest to the Su family and is the only family member of Su's mother. The Su family is rich, so they have to help him. Letting him get to this position is the best help, and Suwon will not treat him unfairly. Second, for the time being, my uncle is a relatively honest person. He doesn't show any bad intentions, and he doesn't usually think about asking about goat milk soap, but his character needs to be examined. As for my aunt, she is a smart woman, but it depends on whether her smartness is used in the right way or the crooked way. By getting along with each other day and night, you can always slowly figure out their temperaments. And Yang Qingqing, it can be seen that she is also a very simple girl, without any bad intentions and not greedy, as could be seen from the night when Suwon asked her to pick the pearl flowers. Okay, I'll go there later and talk to her. Mother Su planned to go to Grandma Lu again. She was just scolded by someone and she was still angry, but she was determined to do it for her daughter's career. Mother, I'll go and talk to her. Suwon didn't have anything to do anyway, so she might as well go and talk to Grandma Lu herself. She couldn't just yell at a little girl like her. Wan, with her temper, you'll be wronged if you go, so let Mother go. Mother Su had seen through it. She couldn't stand her good temper, so Wan went instead. Forget it. She couldn't bear to let her suffer this grievance. Mother, I'll go with Wan. You can stay at home. Fifth brother Su-yi, who was always gentle, suddenly spoke with a gentle smile on his face. He was the most prudent and careful. There was no doubt about that. It was reassuring to have him accompany Suwon. If you accompany Wan, then Mother would be relieved. Su-yi's smile deepened when he heard this. There was also a dimple on the left corner of his mouth, which was looming, making his smile look more friendly. Wan, what are you going to do with your peach blossoms? Let your aunt help you. Aunt Wan felt that her family ate and drank for free every day at her sister's house and sought shelter. She had to do more work to avoid being annoying. Aunt, please wash the peach blossoms with water, half of which will be used for drying, and the other half will be distilled into pure water when I come back. Suwon was not polite. Since he intended to train his uncle's family to be the managers of the Yuzhou workshop, he would start slowly from now on. In the early stage, they were not allowed to contact the main process. After they were sure that they could be fully trusted, they could talk about other things. Okay, Qingqing, let's go and wash the flowers with Mother. Aunt put the child in the baby stool for children. This stool was the one that Guyu had sat on when she was a child. At that time, Su's father was so happy because he had a daughter that he specially asked a carpenter to make it. The 5 brothers did not have such treatment. Now, little Yang Qin is still young, only 2 years old, so this baby chair was pulled out from the corner, cleaned and given to him to sit and play. Yang Qingqing is also very diligent. She is very happy and lively at her aunt's house. The meals are very good every day, and there is meat to eat every day. Cousin Wan is also very nice. She always sleeps sweetly with her at night. Moreover, the cousin is very powerful. She knows a lot of things and can do a lot. Mother said that she should learn from her cousin. Here, there is no worry about the county magistrate's son. Although she is still afraid when she thinks of it sometimes, she is not afraid when she sees these cousins. Su Wan and Su Yi soon arrived at Grandma Lu's house. Her house is an old house, and the thatched house looks shaky. After the two sons got married, they built a new house and lived there, leaving her alone. She usually grows some vegetables, and the two sons give her 100 kilograms of food each year. When she saw Su Wan coming, she was washing something under the eaves. Su Wan and Su Yi had just stepped into the yard when her water splashed over. Seeing this, Su Yi quickly pulled Su Wan out of the way so that they were not splashed with dirty water. Grandma Lu rolled her eyes and said unhappily, "It's really hard for you to worry about it. For my little land to make a living, you have to run back and forth. I tell you, unless you give me 20 taels of silver, I will not sell it to you. Don't say nonsense, lest you say that I scolded you kids badly." Grandma Lu saw that it was Su Wan, so she restrained herself and didn't scold you badly. "Grandma Lu, let's be frank." "I'll be frank. I discussed with my mother and decided to exchange our half-acre land by the river for your half-acre land. I'll give you 2 taels of silver as compensation for loss. The vegetables we harvested from the land will not be yours. Our half-acre land is close to the river, and we dug a ditch to divert water. It's very convenient for watering, and the land is more fertile. You're old, and you have to go around several ridges every time you carry water to water the vegetables. It's not safe, but it's hard work. We also know that you rely on that land to grow vegetables for a living, so we understand you and came up with this idea. We'll suffer a little loss and make it convenient for you. Do you think it's feasible?" After listening to Grandma Lu, her eyes rolled, but she still didn't look at the brother and sister well. "Can you be so kind? The land by the river is so good, and you're willing to exchange it with me and give me 2 taels of silver as compensation? What about the other families?" It seems that Grandma Lu is not confused, and she knows to let the other families know that they can't do it. "Of course I am willing. Once we say something, it is hard to take it back. As long as you keep quiet, how will others know? If you think it is possible, just tell us straight out. We are all straightforward people, and we don't beat around the bush. Anyway, our family will not let you suffer any loss. Is that sincere enough?" As soon as Su Wan came out, you knew whether it was good or not. She was originally well-behaved and likable. When she spoke, she was soft and sticky, as if there were feathers tickling your heart. Even someone as domineering as Grandma Lu couldn't help but soften her tone. "You are all so sincere. How can I not agree? I tell you, if this land is changed, it can't be changed back." After weighing the pros and cons, Grandma Lu agreed. It happened that it was time to sow new vegetable seeds at this time of year. It was just right. Not only could she change to a better and more convenient vegetable plot, but she could also get 2 taels of silver. Why not? Sometimes, Su Wan would rather spend some money and not waste time. If she had the time to bother, she could have built the workshop. It's only 2 taels of silver, so just consider it as a good deed. Okay, Grandma Lu is a straightforward person. I'll ask my brother to help you harvest the vegetables in the field, and then ask them to send them back to you, okay? The field is full of winter cabbages, which are very big and a bit heavy. Su Yi followed Su Wan here, but he didn't ask him to do anything, so the matter was easily solved. Su Yi and Su Chen helped Grandma Lu harvest the vegetables in the field and sent them back to her. Grandma Lu was very happy and happily changed the field. The next morning, she carried A and went to dig the soil in the new vegetable field. Su Wan asked Su's father to ask the master to find a nearby auspicious day to start the construction, and then go to the brick kiln to order bricks, fence the field in front of the yard, build a few rooms inside as warehouses, and make an indoor workshop so that there would be no place to make soap when it rained. It's just a temporary workshop. Just build a foundation and surround it. Lay bluestone slabs inside the wall to make a clean and spacious yard. Then find a carpenter to make a batch of wooden racks to dry goat milk soap. After solving the workshop problem, this batch of goat milk soap can also be packaged. Ask Uncle and Jiang Sheng to learn how to package goat milk soap together. When there are many orders in the future, they can get started directly. Tomorrow morning, Suwon will ask her third brother to drive a horse-drawn carriage to send her to the county grocery store to deliver soap, and then go to the grain and oil store to talk to the boss about the regular delivery of almond oil. A lot of messy things also need to be purchased, and by the way, go to the county medicine store to collect soap berries to make hair soap. Her Camellia goat milk hair soap is ready to be put on the market. Suwon used the knowledge and methods learned in school to make a simple distillation equipment by herself and extracted 2 bottles of peach blossom pure water, which was fragrant. There were 400 soaps in total. Jiang Sheng and his wife were called to learn how to package them, as well as his uncle's family. They learned very quickly, and the soaps were packaged very neatly. Suwon wanted to order a seal to be printed on the oil paper after packaging as a special logo. However, she didn't know what pattern would look good, so she asked her 5th brother to help her design one. After briefly telling Sui about her requirements, Sui took a pen and paper and started drawing after thinking for a moment. Suwon said that the seal should be round, and the pattern must be elegant and representative, so that people can remember it at a glance. An hour later, Sui drew several versions of the pattern and handed them to Suwon. After reading them, Suwon thought they were all very good. The 5th brother's design was mainly flowers, and the flowers in each pattern were different. Suwon really couldn't choose. 5th brother, why don't you choose one? To me, each pattern is beautiful, and I can't choose one. Suwon was really embarrassed because she really thought each one was beautiful. No need to choose. In my opinion, it is better to make a few stamps for each. I have painted hibiscus, peach blossom, thorny rose, and Chinese rose. I think the flowers planted in your flower field are mainly these kinds of flowers. When you make soap in the future, you can use stamps with corresponding patterns to stamp them. It is also convenient to distinguish them so that people who come to buy soap can choose their favorite fragrance according to the pattern. Camellia is not common. You can only make 100 pieces in total. I can draw camellia patterns on them one by one. It is not troublesome and can also practice my hands. 5th brother's mind is exquisite and thoughtful, which Suwon did not expect. As he said, different flower-scented soaps use the same stamp, which is not only unique, but also easy to distinguish. Moreover, custom-made stamps are not expensive. You can make several of these patterns for backup. 5th brother is still thoughtful. Then follow his idea and make 3 of each pattern. Suwon is willing to accept Su-yi's proposal. Su-yi is of course happy and immediately smiled happily. Won, actually I have something else I want to tell you, but I don't know if it's possible, and I only want to tell you to you. Can you give me some advice? Su-yi has always had an idea in his mind. He is not sure whether he should do it, but he knows that Suwon will definitely give him inspiration. So, he is only willing to tell Suwon. What is the idea? 5th brother, tell me. Suwon asked excitedly. When she heard him say that he only wanted to tell her his idea, how could she not be moved? That is, I want to paint by myself and then sell it on the street because I want to see if my paintings can be liked by the world, but I am afraid that if no one cares about it after doing this, I will give up on myself. Su-yi has thought a lot during this period. The brothers have found their goals, but he is still confused and doesn't know where to work hard. After thinking about it, he came up with such a way to improve himself, affirm himself, and not let himself be idle all day and find a goal to strive for. This is a good thing, 5th brother. You can be so brave to prove yourself. What's wrong with that? Moreover, 5th brother's painting skills are amazing, and he can make portraits come alive. The painting you drew for me last time, when I look at it again now, I am still amazed. So, I fully support 5th brother's decision to set up a stall to sell paintings, but I suggest that 5th brother can specialize in painting portraits for people. 5th brother's paintings of people are very vivid, and I believe there must be many people willing to try. When others see your ability, why worry about no one's interest? Moreover, there are many kinds of life, and I think people's faces are the most difficult to describe. Even twins are always different. Fifth brother can not only make money through portraits, but also improve his level. Why not do it? The more Soo-won talked, the brighter the light in Soo-yi's eyes became. He was always steady and gentle, but he couldn't help being excited when he heard what his sister described. It was about his dream, and the uncertainty and lack of confidence he had felt for many days were cured by Soo-won in an instant. Well, listen to Won-won. In the future, I will set up a stall and specialize in portraits. I will set a wish to paint 1,000 portraits. Then I will see what level I can improve. Soo-won nodded with satisfaction. The next morning, 400 bars of soap had been packed. Soo-chan harnessed the carriage early in the morning, loaded all the soaps onto the carriage, and went to the county with Soo-won to deliver the goods. Yangguoo is not far from the county, so only one horse is enough. The proprietress of the grocery store looked forward to it, and finally the man came. After the beginning of the new year, many people came to ask for soap, but Soo-won never came, and she had nowhere to find him. Now it has been 2 months since the new year, and she thought Soo-won would not come. She didn't know if he did business somewhere else, and would not come to Chingha County. Just when she thought there was no hope, Soo-won came and brought 400 bars of soap at a time. And this time, there was a different surprise. "Boss lady, long time no see. I miss you so much." Soo-won stepped into the shop. The proprietress was wiping the counter. When she heard Soo-won's voice, she turned around excitedly. "Oh, I thought it was someone I hadn't seen for a long time. It turned out that my family's female god of wealth came. I was waiting for so long." The proprietress hurriedly made tea and served snacks. She also invited Soo-chan in. "You don't know, there have been too many people asking for soap in the past 2 months. I almost broke my door, but I couldn't wait for you. I was almost annoyed, especially your hair bath soap. Several rich girls sent people to ask about it. They ordered several pieces at a time. I also used it. The hair washed with that hair bath soap is fragrant and smooth. It works so well. Did you make it this time?" The proprietress was also thinking about the hair bath soap. She liked it very much. "The hair bath soap is not available this time, but it will be available next time you come. It is a new formula, which is more convenient and smells better. But this time I made a sheep milk soap with the scent of camellia." The goods were all in the carriage, and the boss lady asked the clerk to move them down. The first generation of goat milk soap and dyed goat milk soap are old friends. These two are particularly popular among ordinary people, mainly because they are cheap and easy to use. The white goat milk soap is square, mostly bought by rural people. The dyed one is also made into a square, but it looks much more delicate after being dyed. It is used by people in the county, and it is only 5 cents more expensive than the white one. The previous osmanthus soap and hair soap, although not in large quantities, are the favorites of many ladies. This time, the camellia goat milk soap, the boss lady opened one on the spot and smelled it. It was absolutely amazing. The fragrance of camellia is very strong, but after mixing with goat milk, it has a different flavor. The flavors of the two are neutralized together, and the smell is elegant, but not heavy. Used for washing hands and bathing, it can leave a lasting fragrance on the skin. Because almond oil and goat milk are both moisturizing skin, the almond oil repeatedly soaked in camellia has been completely assimilated by the fragrance of camellia. Soo-won felt that selling it on the market at 25 cents a piece was already too cheap, and he had to add 5 cents to it. Floral-scented goat milk soap was originally a mid to high-end product, and ordinary goat milk soap and dyed ones were enough for washing clothes. This floral scent series is mainly for moisturizing, hand cleansing, and bathing. So, after seeing the boss lady's reaction, Soo-won changed his mind temporarily. She wants to take the interest of 25 cents a piece. This is good. I have to keep a few pieces for myself. I wonder how much the goddess of wealth will set for the price? The boss lady fell in love with this camellia goat milk soap at once, and wanted to keep a few pieces for herself. 30 cents. This soap took a lot of effort, so the price can't be too low. I'll take 25 cents and you'll make 5 cents a piece. Okay, let's do as you say. The boss lady didn't bargain anymore. As long as she could make some money, it was fine. She immediately calculated the money for these soaps. 150 pieces of the first-generation goat milk soap were 18 taels, 150 pieces of dyed goat milk soap were 24 taels, and the new Camellia goat milk soap was 25 taels, a total of 67 taels. With the deposit she received before, the boss lady could make 15 or 16 taels, which was not bad. This Camellia goat milk soap is limited to 100 pieces. It will be gone after it is sold out. Camellia is out of season, and there are no raw materials. But next time, I will sell 100 pieces of Camellia-scented hair and body soap and peach-scented ones. You spread the word first. The price is 38 cents a piece. First come, first served, and then you'll get 6 cents a piece in interest. Soo-won first told her about the new style that would be launched next time and asked her to spread the word first. Hunger marketing.
Okay, got it.
The boss lady felt her eyes sparkling when she thought about it. The money she made from selling goat milk soap with the goddess of wealth was the net revenue of her shop for a month. Her grocery store sells a variety of daily necessities that are not worth much money. It is just a small business. How can it make more money and faster by selling goat milk soap? After taking the silver and leaving, Soo-won first went to a grain and oil shop and bought all the almond oil stored in their store at once. There are a total of 300 kilograms of almond oil, which can make a total of about 2,500 yuan of soap. Excluding the cost, it is roughly estimated that it can make at least 500 to 600 taels. Moreover, these 300 kilograms of almond oil only cost 20 taels of silver, plus the various costs. Goat milk soap is a highly profitable business. The shopkeeper of the grain and oil shop thought he had met a big sucker. Every time this girl came, she bought so much almond oil. This almond oil is not easy to sell, and it is not delicious when cooking, so he would not order much every time, and the girl bought it all. When paying, Soo-won asked him about the supplier of the almond oil. The owner of the grain and oil shop must not be squeezing the oil and selling it himself. This almond oil must have a supplier. Shopkeeper, I want to ask you, where do you buy this almond oil? Soo-won wondered if it would be cheaper if he found the source supplier directly. He estimated that this grain and oil shop would only get 5 or 6 coins for a pound of almond oil from the source supplier, but he sold it for 8 coins. If Soo-won directly found the source supplier to supply him with the oil and offered the factory price, wouldn't it be more cost-effective? He could ask them to deliver the oil regularly, so he wouldn't have to buy it himself. But the shopkeeper of the grain and oil shop is also a shrewd person. This girl must have a use for ordering a large amount of almond oil, but if she finds the family that supplies the oil, then he will not make any money? Girl, you must have a use for so much almond oil. Otherwise, if you order almond oil for my house for a long time in the future, I will give you 7 coins per pound. How about that? The abacus beads of the shopkeeper are about to burst on her face, but Soo-won is not going to be fooled by this penny. Soo-won didn't say anything, but just left an address of the Soo family and asked the people in the grain and oil shop to help deliver it. If it is more than 100 kilograms, it can be delivered to the door, and Soo-won can save herself and her third brother from the trouble of transporting it back. 300 kilograms also takes up space, and the carriage can't transport it all. If Soo-won wants to inquire, she doesn't have to ask from him. She doesn't believe that she can't find a family that specializes in almond oil in Chingha County. As long as they have been doing this business for a long time, they must have planted a lot of apricot trees at home. There is no wall that is impenetrable. No need, shopkeeper. I'm just asking. Please deliver the things to me. Putting down the pen, Soo-won smiled and refused the shopkeeper. Seeing that Soo-won was not offended, the shopkeeper shrugged indifferently. It doesn't matter. His grain and oil shop is the most profitable. He doesn't care about the little profit at all. It's just that people who do business are subconsciously making profits for themselves. Don't worry, girl, I will definitely deliver it to your home. In addition, Soo-won also bought 200 kilograms of rice and 100 kilograms of flour to take back. There are a few more people in the family to eat, and the rice harvested last year is not enough to eat. The uncle's family is not living for free. He is helping with the housework. Soo-won bought polished rice and fine noodles, and the money he earned today is almost gone. The next step is to go to Jishan Hall and talk to his second brother about the soapberry. Soapberry is rarely used as medicine. Mu has collected all the soapberries stored in Jishan Hall, leaving only a few dozen kilograms for the medicine hall. There are 150 caddies of soapberries in total. If they are collected at 2 cents per caddy, Sewin will only need to make 3 taels of silver. There are also several other pharmacies that have collected several hundred caddies. This nearly 500 caddies of soapberries, boiled into juice, can make about 2,000 pieces of hair soap. For the time being, there is no need to worry about not having soapberries to make hair soap. If it is not enough, we can go to other counties to collect them. Anyway, they are not expensive. Making a piece of hair soap makes a net profit of 30 cents. By piecing together here and there, we can always make it to autumn. After the new round of soapberries mature and fall off, we don't have to collect them everywhere. Now, Sewin's flower fields have not yet produced, and Sewin has to go to the provincial capital to find a flower supplier. Many rouge shops in the provincial capital need a lot of flowers to make rouge, and there are farms that grow flowers to deliver flowers to the door. Sewin also needs a lot of flowers to soak oil and extract pure due to make flower soap. This floral goat milk soap is a wealth code, and it must be supplied for a long time and cannot be out of stock. Finally, there were too many soapberries to fit in the carriage, so 2 ox carts were hired from the county to help deliver the goods. Sewin also bought a lot of dried flowers to grind into powder for dyeing. She was also thinking about the shortage of paper, pens, and paints in the fifth brother's room, so she bought him a few stacks of drawing paper, some paints, and brushes. This time, the money from selling soap was spent cleanly, without a bit left. But the purchases can make a profit of 1,000 taels of silver. After ordering the seal, Suchin followed Sewin around the county, asked many passers-by, and asked several shops about almond oil. Finally, he found out that there was a He family 50 miles west of the city. There was a farm and a large workshop there. Because they planted apricot trees on several mountains, the main business of the family was to make dried apricots and almond oil and make a fortune from this. Every year when the apricots are ripe, the fruits can be made into dried apricots and sold to dried fruit shops everywhere. Dried apricots are the favorite of pregnant women. They like to eat sour and sweet ones, and they usually buy them to eat. The almonds in the fruit can be made into almond oil, or they can be fried and eaten as dried almonds, which are more fragrant than melon seeds and peanuts. Almond oil is not the main business of the He family because almond oil is not sold well in the market, and in this era, it is not known that almond oil has beauty benefits when applied to the skin, so its value has not been fully explored. The main house of the He family is in Qingyuan County next door. If Sewin wants to order almond oil for a long time, she can go directly to the workshop to find the manager. Every year, the almonds from several mountains are stockpiled, which can produce tens of thousands of pounds of almond oil. After special treatment, almonds can be preserved for a long time. Therefore, Sewin had to go to the He family's manor to talk to the manager about this matter. But it was too late today, so Sewin could only go home with her third brother first and find another time to go to the He family's manor. It just so happened that she had to pass through the He family's manor to go to Xiongzhou Prefecture, and she also had to talk about the supply of flowers, so these 2 things happened to be done together. No, it should be 3 things. After returning, Sewin will make a large batch of goat milk soap, 200 yuan each for white and dyed. After it is done, he will take it to Xiongzhou Prefecture to find an agent to sell it and take the opportunity to open up the market in Xiongzhou Prefecture. 1 line, 3 things, all done at once. By the way, go to Xiongzhou to see how the 4th brother is doing in Yumengsala. When the brother and sister came back, almond oil, rice flour, and soapberry had all been delivered. Sue's father put them in the corner of the main hall. The second brother's room was empty and was also requisitioned to store almond oil. So once the business gets bigger, it is really important to have a dedicated workshop. The Su family yard is still not enough. Moreover, it rains a lot in spring, and it is afraid of moisture if it is placed outside. After a few spring rains, the seedlings in the small garden and the flower field at the back have emerged one after another and grown up. Jiang Sheng and Jiao Xing watch in the field almost every day when they have time. There is not a single in the flower field, and it is very well taken care of. In their spare time, when they are free, they will come to Sue's house to see if there is anything they can help. Now the business has not officially started, there are not many orders, so there is not much to do. The rice seedlings at home are already being cultivated. When the seedlings grow up, Sue's father plans to plant several acres of fields at home. Uncle Yang Ming and Jiang Sheng help together, and several acres of fields are planted in a few days. When Su-won returned home, Sue's father and others had just returned from the fields, and their calves were covered with mud. Su-won gave him all the paper, pens, and paints bought for the fifth brother, fully supporting his business of selling paintings at a stall. Seeing these papers, pens, and paints of different colors, Su-yi was moved. "Thank you, Wan. I will give them all to you when I make money in the future." He took these things with both hands and held them carefully. He has no ability now, and his dream still depends on Su-won to support him, so he silently thought in his heart that all the money he earned in the future would be given to Su-won as a dowry. Just give half, and the remaining half, the fifth brother will keep it to marry his sister-in-law. Su-won laughed jokingly, causing Su-yi's old face to blush. "Fifth brother, I wish you success." Su-won raised her hand, and Su-yi instantly understood what she meant, and then he also reached out and clapped his hands with her. Su-won said that this was their little secret. Moreover, so far, Su-won has only had this exclusive action with him, and no other brothers have. Su-yi thought of this, and there was an indescribable sense of pride in his heart. Then, he took Su-won's hand and walked to his room. "Wan, I have something to show you." Su-won was very curious when she heard it. When she walked in with him, she saw him take out a stack of drawing paper from under his desk to show Su-won. There were a total of more than a dozen sheets, all of which were drawings of Su-won. Her various expressions, and various different smiles were all vividly displayed on the paper. She was stunned. "Wan, when I have nothing to do, I draw things, and you are the one I draw the most because our Wan is beautiful. I don't know if you like it." Su-yi said, smiling brightly. His eyes narrowed, and the dimples at the corners of his mouth were faintly visible. Su-won's eyes suddenly warmed up. She was moved by the fifth brother. "I like it. The fifth brother draws very well. Can you show me other things you draw?" On the table, there is a thick stack of drawing paper, all of which are his drawings, which are well preserved and not lost. Su-yi nodded and brought all the paintings to her to see. These drawing papers are very ordinary drawing papers, without any frame. Su-yi's paintings include mountains, water, flowers, and grass. There are landscape paintings, scenery paintings, and ladies' paintings. Without exception, they are all very beautiful. If they can be painted on scrolls, they are not inferior to those of famous artists and scholars, and they will definitely be more pleasing to the eye. It seems that I have to buy some scrolls for the fifth brother to paint. The paintings can also be hung in the house as ornaments for appreciation. Su-yi was embarrassed by her praise, and his cheeks were slightly red. Because he was busy opening up the Xiangzhou market, Su-won spent 7 days making 400 soaps, 200 each for the basic and dyed soaps, and prepared to take them to Xiangzhou Prefecture to find agents to sell. By the way, he solved the problem of almond oil and flour supply. The demand for goat milk soap was high, and the goat farmer in the village could no longer supply a large amount of goat milk. Su-won asked his father to go to other villages to see if there were any goat farmers to find a source of milk to prepare in case there were too many orders in the future, and there was not enough goat milk. After the 400 soaps were packaged, Su-won went to Xiangzhou Prefecture accompanied by Su-chun and Su-yi. In the Zhaixing Pavilion of Zhongzhou Fengyue Villa, Jiang Yu, wearing a purple round patterned robe, stood by the window. The subordinate came in to deliver the letter and handed him a very thick letter. "Young master, there is a letter from Xiangzhou." Jiang Yu took the letter, waved his hand to let people leave, and then couldn't wait to open it. Several pages of letter paper were filled with words talking about the recent events of the Su family, about Su-won opening a flower farm, selling the recipe of shikima, and Su's uncle's family coming to stay temporarily, etc. These trivial matters were extremely detailed. It was obvious that it was not written by Feng Ying. He was not so verbose. Jiang Yu read it from beginning to end, and his eyes were fixed on the last sentence. Miss Su asked the master, "Will we meet again?" He couldn't help but chuckle after reading it, and he couldn't hide his joy. Then, he muttered to himself, "Of course there will be a time." Su-chin drove a carriage with 400 pieces of goat milk soap in the carriage. The carriage was very spacious, and Su-won and Su-yi could just sit in it, not too crowded. Su-won carried 200 taels of silver notes on his body, and also had dozens of taels of silver. The first stop was the He family manor. When you approach their manor, you'll find that there are apricot trees planted on the surrounding mountains. A large manor stood between the valleys, and their workshop was adjacent to the manor. Won, this should be the place. The carriage stopped, and Su-chin called out from outside. Only then did Su-yi and Su-won open the door and get out. Su-chin jumped down first, and when Su-won was about to get off, he gave her his hand and asked her to help him down. Slow down, Won. Su-won grabbed the arm of the third brother and landed steadily. Looking at the big manor in front of him, Su-won knocked on their door. Soon, the door opened, and a young man walked out. "Who is it?" The man's voice was a little impatient. Seeing that it was 3 young boys and girls who were not very old and dressed in ordinary clothes, he yawned and became even more impatient. "You are here to ask for water, right? Wait outside, I'll go get you some tea." Perhaps because people often pass by to ask for water, the man subconsciously thought that Su-won and the others were here to ask for water. "Brother, we don't drink water. We are here to order almond oil." Su-won was not annoyed and stopped him politely. Hearing this, the young man turned around with a little embarrassment on his face. The man originally came to order oil, but he changed his face quickly because of his bad attitude. He turned back and bowed to Su-won. "Oops, I'm sorry. Please come quickly." He hurriedly invited everyone in. Su-won and Su-chin looked at each other. It seems that as a boss, she should also get herself a decent outfit to avoid being looked down upon. The waiter took them directly to find the steward. In this manner, except for the summer, the masters would come to stay for a while to escape the heat, and the rest of the time, they, the servants, were here to guard. The steward took care of the manor and the workshop. At this time, it was not the season for apricots to mature, so everyone was not busy and there were not many orders. The main reason was that the demand for almond oil for the common people was really not great, and the first half of the year was their most idle time. The steward met Su-won, and the waiter also prepared tea for them. The manager was a man in his 50s, tall and thin, but with a kind face. When he came, he asked Su-won directly how much oil he wanted to order. "Girl, a pound of almond oil here is 6 coins. How much do you want to order? We will deliver at least 100 kilograms. We want to order oil for a long time and hope you can deliver it regularly." The manager was a little confused when he heard it. He never had many orders for almond oil here. When grain and oil shops in various counties came to order, they would only order a few hundred kilograms at a time, and they could not sell them all in a year. But this girl said she wanted to order for a long time, which was a big order. "Girl, the almond oil here is a craft that has been passed down for 100 years and can be eaten with confidence, but you said you want to order for a long time. Please tell me in detail how to order it. It will be delivered once a month, about 300 to 500 kilograms at a time. If there is a need in the later stage, we may need more. I wonder if your family can supply it?" After Su-won opened up the way to Xiangzhou Prefecture, he would develop to other prefectures. There are 8 counties in Xiangzhou Prefecture. If all of them are connected, the monthly consumption of 300 kilograms of almond oil is a full amount, and maybe even more. When the goat milk soap business is connected to 3 prefectures, they can contract the almond oil of the entire He family workshop. The supply is of course available. Our He family workshop has 3 apricot mountains, and there are also several apricot mountains in Qingchuan County. The annual output of almonds is more than 10,000 kilograms, which can produce more than 10,000 kilograms of almonds and almond oil. The inventory in the warehouse is sufficient, and more can be supplied. However, almond oil is not as easy to sell as rapeseed oil in the market. I wonder what the girl uses so much almond oil for every month? The manager was very curious. Except for some pastry shops that use almond oil to make pastries, ordinary people buy less, and it is almost useless. She wanted so much at once, or every month. He was a little curious. "Uncle, I have a purpose for this almond oil. It's not for bad things. Since you can supply it, let's sign a contract. Starting from next month, on the 15th of every month, send 300 kilograms of almond oil to my house on time. Soo-won was still rushing to the provincial capital, so she wanted to quickly settle the almond oil matter. She knew that it was much more cost-effective to go directly to the source supplier than to order it from the grain and oil shop. It was 2 cents cheaper per kilogram. The manager was just curious, but if the other party didn't want to say it, he wouldn't keep asking. If there is business, it is natural to do it. The old almonds piled up in this warehouse are just worried about where to go. 300 kilograms a month is 18 taels of silver. According to the rules, if you order for a long time, the workshop will prepare the stock for oil pressing. After signing the contract, you need to pay a deposit. According to the order, Soo-won left a deposit of 10 taels of silver. When the almond oil is delivered on the 15th of next month, pay the balance of 8 taels, and then pay the deposit of 10 taels for the next batch, and so on. Once the written agreement is signed, the fingerprints are pressed, the address is left, and the deposit is paid, the order is considered to be completed. The supply of almond oil was solved, and the manager took Soo-won to visit their workshop and showed her the raw materials. Since they were going to have long-term business dealings, Soo-won also wanted to see how their quality was. After all, goat milk soap is used on people's skin. If there's a problem with the raw materials, the reputation will be damaged, which is secondary. The only thing is to worry about the problem of people and not being able to take responsibility. The almonds that the He family took back last year were fried and well preserved. When the warehouse was opened to show her the goods, there was a very fragrant smell of cooked almonds. The manager said that these almonds can only be preserved for a long time after being fried, and they must be in a dry environment. Otherwise, they are easy to get damp and grow insects. After visiting the workshop, Soo-won did not stay any longer. She returned to the carriage with Soo-chun and Soo-yi and continued to rush to Seongjo Prefecture. Because they were delayed for an hour in the He family workshop, it was already afternoon when they arrived in Seongjo Prefecture. After the inspection, Soo-won went into the city and wanted to find an inn to stay. After thinking about it, she asked her third brother to drive the carriage to the street where Yu Man-shi-lu was. After arriving, she did not stay in Yu Man-shi-lu, but stayed in an ordinary inn on the same street. There was a room price formula board on the counter of Yu Man-shi-lu. The Tianzaho private rooms that Jongyu arranged for her family last time cost 10 taels a night, and the most ordinary side rooms cost 5 taels a night. I can't afford it. Even if I have a little assets now, Soo-won still can't afford it. I'll talk about it when she earns more and has too much money to spend. However, although it is an ordinary inn, it costs 3 taels a night in the prosperous Seongjo Prefecture. The main reason is that the prices on this street are higher than other places. Those who come and go are all rich people and wealthy families. If it were in the streets just after entering the city, it would only cost more than 1 tael a night. The environment of this inn is not bad, and Soo-won booked 2 rooms. It's getting late, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow to find a goat milk soap agent. We'll look for agents in the morning and flower growers in the afternoon. Third and fifth brothers, you must be hungry. Let's go eat first. Soo-won rested for a while and asked the third and fifth brothers to go have dinner. Do we eat downstairs? When will you go to see the fourth brother? Soo-yi is also thinking about Soo-yun. They are twins after all. Although they like to bicker, they have a really good relationship. Let's go to Yu Man-shi-lu for dinner. Soo-won said arrogantly that since she couldn't afford to live in Yu Man-shi-lu, she was willing to spend money on a meal. Tonight, it's just eating, drinking, and shopping. Anyway, there are 2 brothers to carry bags, so what's there to be afraid of? She wants to get herself and her family some better clothes. This time she goes out, she has money with her. In modern times, she is willing to invest in herself and dress herself up, but if she stays in a hotel, it's okay. If she has money, there is no need to stay in the presidential suite. A few hundred yuan a night is also very good. Here, she has the same idea. Money can't be earned enough. Spend it as it should be spent without feeling sorry. The most important thing is to please yourself. Won-won is going to treat us to a big dinner. The third brother Soo-chun smiled dotingly. Yes, the third and fifth brothers can order whatever they want, and the fourth brother can order whatever he wants. If Suyan heard what Suwon said, she would say that she was partial. At this time, Su Yun, who was cutting vegetables in the kitchen of Yueman West Building, felt an itch in his nose, which was a sign of sneezing. He deliberately put down the kitchen knife and sneezed several times in a row towards the corner. After finishing, he touched the tip of his nose, with a puzzled look on his face. Didn't I cover myself with a blanket last night? Caught a cold? Su Chun and Sui laughed at the same time when they heard Suwon's words, and the three siblings left the inn one after another. The carriage had been pulled to the backyard by the inn's waiter. Before going to Yueman West Building, Suwon passed by a ready-made clothing shop and directly pulled the third and fifth brothers in together. There were a dazzling array of spring skirts. When Suwon walked in, it was as if she had entered heaven. This store specializes in women's clothes, so the people working in the store are all young women. When Suwon came in, someone came to greet her immediately. "Girl, do you want to buy a skirt? I'll help you choose." Suwon nodded and let the female clerk happily pull her to choose a dress. Su Chun and Su Yi waited quietly on the side. "Girl, my name is Meng Nyang. What color do you like? Just tell me and I'll help you choose the right one. I like light and elegant colors, not too flashy." "Okay. Girl, your features are so delicate and beautiful, and you are in your prime. You look good in anything. I will help you pick a few light and elegant skirts. You try them." Meng Nyang smiled and turned around to find a few sets among the many skirts. A light purple chest-length skirt